Bop, 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 bop. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what it do, people, man? Hey, Atlanta Falcon Nation here. 53 man day. Not mandate, but man day, which is now we have officially seen the cuts and everybody that's going on the practice squad. Hey, where are my manners? I'm your boy, six man, K Styles, aka the Fat Man, aka the Six Man. And to my stage left, you see who it is. He's number one in your hearts. He's calm before the storm, the voice of reason, Mr. Jew Talk Sports. What it do?
What it do, people? The regular season is here.
Now, will our prophecies come true this season, or will we be having the boo-boo face? Only time will tell. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and, we got to do the roll call. Mr. Tony Wright, what's going on, man? We got to do the roll call as usual. Can't have an AFN show without the roll call. Mr. Magnus. Shouts out to the Red Clay Sports on Saturdays. We got Mr. Virgo Life. We got Alex Edwards in the building. We got Tiv Sports and Gaming. We got Brian Peoples, King Kill. We got Jerry Bowie, Asia Green, Joseph Thornton, everything ATL. I like that name. We got Atlanta Falcons Rise Up, Anthony Evans, Isaac Crimes. We got the J-Dog in the building. Muhammad Kana, he in here. Eric McDowell Jr., Floyd Donnelly, Tyler Lee, Marcus Bell. And we're going to start off with, we're going to leave it off Shadow 97. I want to shout everybody out, but we got to go ahead and get this thing cracking. Now, Mr. Jew Talk Sports, Mr. Calm Before the Storm. As we know, we done got it down to the 53 side of the game. And before we get to that, no, Cam Newton is not part of the damn plan because I know it's gonna be somebody in here talking that shit. So, so, Jew, what you got? What's your thoughts on the 53?
Man, I'm loving what I'm seeing. What I've seen as far as the 53-man roster. One thing that I noticed about the 53-man roster this season under Arthur Smith is whatever he told us going into training camp, he basically stood by his word. He's talked about guys going out and competing, and it was guys like Dorian Etheridge, the linebacker that made this roster, that he was a guy that balled out in preseason. Quadre Olison was another guy. I talked about it in my last video before we had our last game, preseason game last week. I basically said that it was a couple players on the bubble, like Caleb Huntley, and I said it was going to be out of him and Quadre Olison, who performed the best in that last game, because to me it was a toss-up between those two guys. But I'm just happy that he kept his word as far as the young guys on this roster end up making the roster, because we know in years past we've had guys that deserve to make the roster, like they balled out in preseason, but they didn't end up making the roster. So like Frank Darby was one of those guys that we thought was on the bubble, but I thought he did enough in training camp and during the preseason. Guys like Tarjay Sharp was a guy who dropped a couple passes, and I thought that he might be a guy that they let go. But just all in all, from looking at the roster, to me, it wasn't one guy on the 53-man roster that didn't deserve a spot. I feel like everybody that made it either balled out in training camp or they balled out in the preseason. The people that made the mistakes during the preseason games, like Kobe Jones with that interception and fumble, like the guys like that, you seen them get cut. So pretty much it wasn't any guys that I seen on the list that got cut that didn't deserve to be cut. So that's mainly what I took from the roster. Like, as Arthur Smith said, nothing is official yet because, of course, other teams are going to cut their roster down, and we may see somebody, on another team that we think may be more valuable where we can upgrade our roster. But from the guys that actually made the team, I think that everybody that made the team deserved to be on the team. And I was really pleased with, what I seen out of this roster. It wasn't nobody other than Javion Hawkins, who he got cut really early. He was the only guy that I was like, man, but we're really deep at running back. So I seen that coming. So him and, Caleb Huntley end up getting cut. So it's like, would you rather be cut early or late, at the end of the day, because both of them eventually end up getting cut. So just from what I'm saying, or from what I've seen on the 53-man roster, the official is not official yet, but from this early 53-man roster, I like what I'm seeing. To me, everybody that, made the roster deserved it. They balled out in preseason. They balled out in training camp.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's pretty much, if you go down the list, it's pretty much everybody that I expected. I mean, I may say the one surprise that I might see here is Etheridge, but if you looked at the preseason tape, like you said, they gave him the green sticker on the helmet. So
yeah.
So if you got that kind of responsibility that they giving you, yeah, you're gonna 9 times out of 10 make the team. So yeah, pretty much everybody that I expected. Avery Williams, I see that's not a surprise. Y'all hear the replay in the background. And make sure my mic was working and stuff. Like Christian Blake. I know somebody was saying something earlier about Cordero Patterson. Let me see. Yeah, they didn't know if they had him listed as a wide receiver or a running back. Because it was conflicting stories going on this week, so I didn't know what he was listed as.
Yeah, I heard like he's listed as like a wide receiver or something like that. But either way it goes, we know that he's a football player. Like he's gonna play multiple positions. You know what I'm saying? He's like the Swiss Army knife. He's our Taysom Hill. He can do everything. That dude can do everything. So I wouldn't be too alarmed by whatever he's listed as, because I seen the guy TJ Green. When I looked at the roster, they listed him as just a DB because they were saying he can play safety and he can play corner. Because at Clemson, he plays safety. And in preseason, they used him as a corner, but he can kind of do both. So that he's a depth piece. And that's another thing that I kind of liked about the roster as well. And you talked about this early on, K-Styles, even after the draft. We got guys that are multifaceted. Like they can do multiple things. We don't just have guys that can do one thing well. Most of the guys that we have, especially like our linebackers and stuff like that, our outside linebackers, they can do a lot of different things, whether it's rushing the passer. Like Michael Walker is one of those key guys in the as far as being like a Swiss Army knife. He's a guy you can kind of use coming off the edge, like as a pass rusher. But you've seen him lining up everywhere. In preseason, he was on the special teams unit. He can line up as an inside linebacker. He can line up outside. And that's, been the tail of the tape so far. As like all of our players that are really, versatile, which is a good thing because you never know when somebody's going to go down with an injury.
And not even just going down with an injury, too. It's about creating that chaos back there. I said, you don't know who's going to line up where.
Right.
And like you said, that's kind of that Dean Pease has been preaching offseason as far as the defense was. Pretty much just create chaos. Hey, what more can I say?
Yeah, man.
But do you feel like out of the guys that going to end up on the practice squad, I'm about to say, let me take this back. And I want the people in the chat and watching too to kind of, is there anybody on this 53-man roster that would you say was surprised that made the team? Like when you look at it, it's like, damn, how did he do that?
I didn't think that they were going to keep as many wide receivers as we kept, but I believe they were able to keep as many wide receivers as they could because a lot of the guys that are on the wide receiving core, they can be special teams players as well. Like I think guys like Frank Darby, Tarjay Sharp, you got to add some value. And I think that was the main issue with Javion Hawkins, who you guys know I'm a big fan of Javion Hawkins, but he's not a guy that can play special teams for the most part. Like, I mean, go down on kick coverage and tackle and be like a gunner on special teams. And I think that was the main reason we kept a guy like Avery Williams, because he showed during the preseason that not only could he, return punts and kicks and stuff like that, but he was a solid defensive back as well. So once they seen he could play defensive back, you always want a player that you can use on special teams and you can use in other positions. So I think that was the reason why we kept as many wide receivers as we did, because I thought it was going to come down to Frank Darby, Tajay Sharp, and Christian Blake. Those were the three guys that everybody kept talking about. But I figured when I seen the roster and we kept all of those guys, I think that all of them deserve to make the roster, but I really think that they were able to keep those guys because they can play, special teams. If Frank Darby and Tajay Sharp and even Christian Blake wasn't able to play special teams, I think one of those guys would have got cut. The biggest surprise to me, though, was Dorian Etheridge, because we've seen in the past with the previous regimes we had, they wouldn't keep guys that were like long shots to make the roster. Like going into preseason, I didn't even know who Dorian Etheridge was going into game one. Like I didn't even know he was on the roster. So like when he had I think he had about 10 tackles in that first game against the Titans, I was like, okay, this guy, he can do something. Him and Earl Thompson was playing really well. So I was like, wow, okay, these guys may be able to make the roster, but I was kind of nervous because we're deep at linebacker as well. So I'm like, can you really keep, all of these linebackers on the roster? But then again, Dorian Etheridge is a guy that can play special teams. So you're always going to need those guys on special teams unit. So he was, to me, the long shot that made the roster. Out of all 53 men, I think Dorian Etheridge was the guy that I was really shocked to see make the roster, and then the wide receivers, because we kept like 6 or 7 wide receivers, which is a lot. Usually you don't see that. But as I stated before, this isn't the official roster. So, because I think that they still may go after like a defensive lineman. If it's a quality one still out there, like a defensive tackle or maybe a defensive end that we think is quality, we may end up letting go one of the wide receivers that we have, or putting them on a practice squad so we can add value to this roster.
Yeah, because I was about to say, I know Errol Thompson was kind of the popular guy as far as a lot of people, and I like Errol Thompson as well. But I think that's kind of why he kind of got cut, because he doesn't really have that versatility as far as what you're looking for in a linebacker.
Yeah, his cover skills. That's why I think where he got him beat. If he could cover like Etheridge could, Etheridge showed more sideline to sideline speed. And I think that game against the Dolphins really hurt Errol Thompson, because he got beat a couple times by Myles Gaskin, I think his name is, the running back for the Dolphins. And I think that's really what got him cut, to be honest with you, because he's a old school linebacker, like downhill, good in the run game. But you put him in space and he was getting demolished.
Look, that's why I always called him a heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, exactly.
I call him a heat-seeking missile. But like I said, he's going to be on the practice squad. They're not going to let him go that easily. Caleb Huntley, they're not going to let go that easily.
Yeah.
Like I said, just because these guys are not on the 53 doesn't mean they're not going to be on the practice squad. And think about it like this. A practice squad player in the right situation could come in just in case somebody get hurt. Right. Boom, you got to start right there. So, like I said, no, people don't need to give up or be sad about certain players. Like I said, it's good for Errol Thompson because it allowed him to develop.
Right.
It's good for a guy like Caleb Huntley to develop. You got a lot, like I said, you got a lot of depth at linebacker. Good Lord, somebody was gonna have to eventually be.
Yeah, somebody was gonna get cut or put on the practice squad. I mean, it was just too many linebackers, too many running backs. So because it was like a log jam at those two positions, even though the wide receivers, I really don't think we're gonna carry as many wide receivers that we have. I really don't see it happening. Like if we find a quality like cornerback or defensive lineman in the next couple of days, like off the free agents, I could see them going out and trying to bring in, because I think we kind of shorthanded on the inside of the defensive line. Like I really still want them to go out and get another physical guy on the inside that can play like the 3 tech or play the nose tackle position. I don't think we're set there. Even though we got Jonathan Bullard, we got John Kaminsky, I still think we still kind of little in the trenches. So I can see them either bringing in another offensive lineman or another defensive lineman with one of those positions. So somebody that like either one of those wide receivers go get knocked, like moved back, or one of those wide receivers are going to get knocked onto the practice squad, I think eventually. That's if it's quality out there. I don't know, who they're looking at, but that's what I would do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I kind of see what you're talking about, kind of being a little small. But I don't think they're as small as you think they are. We just ain't got no on in the trenches. I think that's the issue. But I believe that they can. Wait a minute. Is that a spirit? Who is that? Is that the
Man,
spirit?
I'm so irritated right now, but this storm just won't let me be great today, boy. Good gracious. I can't
Oh man.
connect to anything right now but my cell phone. So pardon my uh not showing y'all my beautiful face, but it's the world of Mother Nature is just not allowing me to be great right now.
what we gonna call that the great logo today?
The great logo.
So like I said, appreciate you coming on, Mike. Like I said, I know. Hey, hopefully, they'll get that straightened out soon. But we just
Yeah,
make
I may be in and out. I'm trying to get on, but yeah, it seems like it want to connect now.
okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a few minutes before I try that again.
Okay, so go ahead, give us your thoughts as far as this 53 man.
Oh man, um, there's only one real surprise to me, to be honest. But it's like I don't know why a lot of people are upset about most of the roster. The only one I'm really surprised at is really Caleb Huntley, and like I don't think the practice squad has been set yet. But I do know like that's the only one I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised that Sheffield. I thought Sheffield was on the bubble because he hasn't been, playing. But it's obviously he does have talent, and I think he is one of those players. When you look at what Dean Pease likes out of his players is speed. Like he loves guys just a fast. So if you a defender, you can rush the passer, you can get after the passer, whether it's straight line speed or just overall athleticism, he can use that. So it's like Sheffield, he definitely has an upside. And plus he has the ability to play that free safety position. Like that's what people are not understanding. Like he has the size and he has the athleticism to even be that slot corner slash free safety in his system, which is a system that is designed not to give up big plays. Um, that's one thing about having Dean Pease. He does not want you to give up big plays. And I'm talking about plays that's over his head. Like he doesn't necessarily get. So he'll give you those 20, 30-yard passes over and over and over again, but he does not like his safeties to get beat. And you saw during the preseason, those guys were like 30 yards away from they was like 30 yards away from, the nearest linebacker because he just doesn't want his safeties to get beat. So it's like that's valuable. And like that's honestly that's it. Like that's the only surprise cut that I see. And I, if I was forced to say two, probably Willie Beavers. I don't necessarily think Spriggs is that guy, but he knows his offensive lineman. He know what he's looking for as far as his offensive lineman is concerned. Like Caleb Huntley, Willie Beavers being cut. That's probably the only two that I'm like surprise cuts for me. Everything else is fine.
Okay. I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Kareem Hunt done got cut. So I guess we starting to
Hell no to the no. Hell to the no.
hey,
We ain't doing that.
hey, I'm about to say also Trammell. Hopefully y'all doing all right down there in Hurricane Ida. Hopefully everybody that you know is safe down there. It's unfortunate. Like we a compassionate fan base over here too. So like I said, at the end of the day, football is football. It's more important. But like I said, travel. Just make sure y'all doing all right down there. Make sure, like I said, if you're doing good, put a couple thumbs up in there for me, and all people from New Orleans as well too. So But Kareem Hunt, I'm about to say, damn it, we got too many running backs as it is now.
Right, exactly.
How we gonna need another running back? We
Right.
look. I'm about to say, how we bummed about damn Caleb Huntley, but everybody talk about Kareem Hunt.
Man.
Look, I understand because Kareem Hunt's a hell of a running back, but
Man, look, we need to get. We don't need no more troublemakers. Okay, we good on that. All right,
that
Might
wasn't
be in my mind.
dealing with our own players. Like, I don't need any more troublemakers. Okay, I mean, Barkevius Mingo just got damn near he about to get a life sentence, and y'all want to bring in more troublemakers. I'm good on that, bro.
Hey, Kareem Hunt's situation was fucked up. But it wasn't that damn. It wasn't as bad as Barkevius Mingo. Now that's just something we don't need to go down that road. That's beyond what we need to be talking about. But
We're gonna keep it PG.
Yeah, hey, look, you see the scratching of the ear, like, yeah, I don't know if we want to go down that road. But so one question is. Also, hold on, let's get into some of these damn comments because I know people got a lot to say. We kind of ignored a few of them, but Trammell said he doing good. They doing good down there, so that's a good thing. Yeah, like I said, I see a lot of Kareem Hunt. I would laugh at Devontae Freeman with him won the lifelong dream then got cut, but we gonna say that for another day.
Undertaker, his ass, boy. They gave him the tombstone, boy.
No, you just heard boom. Sit your ass down, motherfucker. Let's see. Hold on. Falcons West. Shouts out to Falcons West right here. AFN Rider all day. Did y'all see Arthur Blank confirm reports of Julio relationship change when he got the last contract? Arthur Smith didn't want a player that don't want to be here and doesn't practice. I mean,
yeah. Go ahead, Drew.
I mean, I'm over the Julio Jones talk, man. That man's in Tennessee. I could care less, to be honest. Only thing I want to do is beat him now. You on another team, you wearing different colors. I mean, at this point, I understand why Arthur Blank was hurt by the whole situation because, you know, he paid Julio that big contract. Julio said he wanted to be paid. He paid him the money, and we know that Arthur Blank is a class act. He's a stand-up guy, and we know that he's close with his players. Like at the end of the day, Arthur Blank is one of those owners that's really personable, really family driven. So I think with him and Julio, he had a close relationship with Julio. So I understand why his feelings was hurt, but at the end of the day, it's a business, man. Like at this point, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I was hurt. I love me some Julio Jones. I got 2 Julio Jones jerseys in the closet. I bought the new black jersey with, the new jersey with Julio. But at the end of the day, it's a business. The man wanted to leave and go about his business. He wanted to go somewhere else. He didn't think he could win here. So I'm out to prove him wrong. At the end of the day, I hope that Matt Ryan and these guys got a chip on their shoulder, and I hope we get to a Super Bowl without him. And I hope he's watching us while we in the Super Bowl. Point blank in the period. At the end of the day, I'm done with the Julio Jones talk. I can care less. Now, to me, it's water under the bridge. So they keep dropping these different articles and stuff like that. And to me, that's their personal business. Like whatever him and Arthur Blank's relationship is or was at this point has nothing to do with me as a fan. As a fan, I really don't. I already feel a certain type of way that he wanted out, and the way that he announced it on television with Skip and Shannon. So at this point, just to keep from the bad blood, I try not to talk about Julio Jones, almost like his politics, because I don't really have nothing good to say about the whole situation. All I say is now that he's not a Falcon, I could really care less.
I said it like this. I'm not finna cry over no grown ass man that don't want to be here.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, like I said, I love Julio as a player. He's a generational talent, the best wide receiver in Falcons history. But at the end of the day, I'm done with the back and forth and him not answering phone calls. And he's not on the team at the end of the day. He's not on the roster. So to me, he's irrelevant at this point when it comes to Atlanta Falcons.
So my question would be to that is, do you think they're really kind of putting his name out there just so they can keep his name relevant with the Atlanta Falcons franchise? Trying to stir up some bullshit, kind of trying to be like another distraction.
Arthur Blank is John Gotti. John Gotti he's not gonna forget what you did to him. He's not gonna forget that you stole money from him. And I think that's like, as a fan, like you said, I don't give a damn about Julio. Like, we got Calvin, we got Kyle Pitts. I'm good. I'm over that. But Arthur Blank,
you trying to say Drew?
What happened?
You trying to say that there like Drew? You hear in the back? She's like, Drew didn't say that. That is not how it's spelled.
You did say that. You said
he said he just didn't say it in Mike's words.
Mike said he gonna put it in his words. We know how Mike said he gonna put it in his words.
Exactly.
Hey, Mike, I'll give you the right to say what you said, bro.
Right.
That's exactly what I said. I said I could give two dead flies about Julio at this point.
Right.
Like, he's not on this roster. Y'all know. Look, I'm gonna respect the man because I love Julio. I'm never gonna I hate like when I see a player leave. I'm not gonna bash somebody because they leave the team. Like, I still love Mike Vick, and I love all of the former great players. I was a Devontae Freeman fan, to be honest. That's why I didn't even comment and make a video about him talking about the Saints, because I've seen a lot of people saying he's a traitor and stuff like that. But I didn't even feel that way about the whole Devontae Freeman situation. I don't feel like he's a traitor because we cut Devontae Freeman. It's different if he would have did a Julio and say, I don't want to play for the Falcons. I want to play for the Saints. Then I consider you a traitor. But if you get cut by the Falcons and you go play with the Saints, this man just want a job at the end of the day. I'm not going to be mad at this man trying to get a paycheck. This man is trying to find a job. If he can hit you on with the Saints, good for him at the end of the day. But once you go from the Falcons, that's when I excommunicate you. As Mike said, I cut the cord at that point. I could care less. If you ain't red and black, I don't want you.
That's it.
Or I'll put it in 3 words: K-style. Bitch, that way. Speaking of Offset, Millie Mills said it earlier, man. Like, hey, nobody gives a damn what Offset got to say about sports,
bro.
He can't.
What the hell that even mean? Like, let's be real. What the hell Offset?
I'm about to say he can't keep his woman in check. You think I'm finna talk to him about some football?
Oh, woo! Ouch.
Hey, y'all, before the baby go back to bed.
$4.99 for Raphael Castillo. Appreciate the $4.99 super chat, man. He said, mad that Rosen isn't gonna wear the number 3. Hopefully he does well though. Shoot, I don't give a damn what number he wears. Shit. He could wear 69 man. For all I care.
Wow, this man here.
Hey,
he already off the one.
Hey, well, that's what I'm saying. That's what it's saying. Like I said, they always asking these rappers about a football team that they don't watch. They asked them about who they playing against. These motherfuckers didn't even know who the fuck they was playing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said, bro, he better concentrate on his woman before he goddamn start talking some damn football. He probably gonna hear this and probably talk all kinds of shit. I don't give a damn. I say bitch that way. Oh man. Hey, so all right, so now we got the hold on. Proven said, in opinion, why did we keep Felipe? Why did we keep Felipe?
We know why we keep Felipe.
Is that a real question?
Go ahead,
Mike.
Mike.
You gonna go get?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. insert.
Is that a real question? Why do we keep like? Is that a like? Who else you gonna go get? Dan Marino? Like who else? Who else is available? Please don't tell me Cam Newton because he can't even beat out a rookie.
Oh yeah, you know they want Cam so bad. Yeah, I
And
ain't
look,
saying just him. They want Cam so badly, boy.
Look, let me take that back. Let me take that back. Look, because like what I don't want to do is pile on players when I know that they're clearly at the end of their career.
Right.
Cam Newton in this offense wouldn't be able to, he wouldn't be able to offer anything. He's not as athletic as he was or once was, and he clearly has never been one of those accurate quarterbacks. We already have a guy that could essentially do what Cam does, and that's Felipe. So it's like you got Felipe, you have Josh Rosen, who is a guy at this point in time, I think he's a better passer than Cam Newton. And we have a guy like Felipe who was a runner, and he's on the 53. So it's like we have two guys that can do what Cam does. Like I said, it ain't no disrespect to Cam. Know what I'm saying? I just don't think he'll be able to offer us anything that we don't already have. That's why right now I said, in the video that Felipe is Cam Newton. I mean, he's 6'6", 6'7". He's like 240. Like the dude is already big. I mean, he move around right now. He moves around a lot better than Cam. I'm just gonna be real. He moves around a lot better, and he doesn't have the mileage on his body for one. So it's like I said, I don't like beating on players when they obviously are going down. Going down. He's just not the same player, and it's really just that. I don't think it's hatred towards Cam. And also you got to take into consideration that Cam most likely got cut because of his refusal to get the vaccine. So I don't think it has a lot to do with his ability. I just think, at this point, it's like he just doesn't offer us anything. It's like Rosen and Felipe, those guys are together. I said this before. I think with the new direction of the Falcons, Felipe and Rosen will kind of be rotating quarterbacks. Like if you need to get the passing yards, and you bring in Rosen, all right? If you need to get a couple of rushing yards here and there, then you come in and get Felipe, let him run, a little option offense, option read offense, some RPOs. He can do that type of stuff. So it's like you already got two players if something happened to Matt Ryan. It's like there's no need for a guy like Cam Newton.
Hey, I got one thing. Hey, Atlanta Falcons Nation. We got an extra guest too.
Oh, really? Oh, really?
Ooh, hey, y'all want to know who it is?
Who it be?
Who it be? We call him Erykah Badu's baby daddy is on the show today.
Okay.
If y'all didn't know by now, y'all know. Y'all better call on Tyrone.
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing tonight?
What up, bro?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, I'm doing good. About y'all was talking about Felipe and Rosen. There's nobody else. And if you're a Georgia fan, if you dare say Jake Fromm in the comments, you just need to get out the line. just get out the line.
Hey, I'm about to say, if you say Jay Fromm, look at the comment below. I like, shit, you better get one of the players from the Bishop Sycamore football team.
Oh, bro, that whole story wild. That story wild too. We ain't gonna talk that. They gonna have they gonna have a Last Dance type documentary about them. That's gonna be a multiple part series. Right. But the roster, I'm just gonna get my little spiel. Nobody surprised me, except like Mike said, Willie Beaver's dead, because I thought he had shown you enough to at least give you a roster spot. But nobody, I don't think anybody else. Ero Thompson, I thought he was gonna make it. But other than that, Rowland was surprising. I'll say that. Chris Rowland was surprising because I thought for him, if it was going to be him or Darby, that was my two. It was going to be Rowland or Darby because I was thinking Rowland was, mind you, he's been the one basically taking all the, kick returns and all of that. And he hasn't been bad at it. But I think Darby just being the bigger receiver and being the bigger guy, and he still can get developed a little bit more to being the actual receiver. I think that's probably who it would be. But there's nothing else that was surprising enough on that team, really and truly. Especially on that roster. Well, and Torrey McElhaney said that's not the final roster. That's just the initial roster.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we'll see in waiver wires. It's like you were saying, Jew was saying D tackle. That's my only concern. Now would be the trenches. Them guys down there. I think the only one I saw that's worth some time is the guy from Cleveland. He's about the only guy I think that is a little bit worth of anything because he was running with the ones in Cleveland, so it was surprising that he got cut up there anyway. So that'd be
Sheldon Day.
Sheldon. Yeah.
Y'all heard that, Atlanta? Sheldon Day. Go get him.
Sheldon Day.
Go shine him. Go sign him.
Hey, look, we better say, boy, anything that help the trenches could be fine, boy.
Bruh.
You can get Ted Washington out of retirement. Just tell him to play one snap a game.
Just sit in one spot. Just stop the run. That's all I need you to do. You ain't got to run nowhere.
Give me Vince Wilfork. Give me Vince Wilfork for a 3rd and 1. That's all I need. Give me Vince Wilfork.
Look, he don't even have to put a jersey on. Just go out there in your overall.
Big Bubba.
Exactly. But yeah, like I said, Franks, like I'm not surprised. Like you said, that's the project quarterback right there. And then, like you say, it's low risk, high reward.
Yeah.
Because you're like I said, if it pans out right, you're literally going to get the type of quarterback that everybody was some of the people were bitching about them not getting in the draft. Less the money.
And you got to keep in mind, too, I don't think a lot of people are thinking about this either. If you put Franks on the practice squad, another team can sign him. When you're on the practice squad, you're not like untouchable at that point. So if somebody liked what they saw in the preseason, which trust me, quarterbacks don't grow on trees. Somebody would have signed him. If we put him on the practice squad, somebody's going to want Felipe Franks.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be 53.
You got to be careful. You got to be wise with who you put on the practice squad because that's my thing about Caleb Huntley. It's like other teams watched Caleb Huntley and I'm like, somebody might try to go after him.
Yeah, I'm afraid of that one.
I know.
Somebody gonna want him.
Look. I can already see it be somebody that's gonna make all of us mad. Be like, Tampa Bay signs Caleb Huntley. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Y'all already got too many players as it is.
Yeah, I can see a team like the Ravens, K-Style, like the Ravens, because they lost J.K. Dobbins. So they need another running back. So
yeah, that's what somebody
said. A team that have an injury, they're going to want Caleb Huntley.
Mm-hmm.
He showed you a lot. Let's be honest. He showed you a lot. I didn't really – and mind you, I thought Hawkins was going to make it over Huntley, but then I just didn't – you didn't see a lot of Hawkins. Like, you just didn't see a lot of him. Yeah. So – I think you can go ahead.
No, I actually had Caleb Huntley. I thought he was a good day 3 pick, if not an undrafted free agent. I absolutely loved him. Like his issue was always injuries in college. So he was a terrific athlete in college. You just go back and watch his tape. Like that's why I'm surprised because he is that. But if anything, I think where they come down to Arthur just not playing with this experience. Like he want experienced guys. He don't want mistakes. You're gonna have to come in and play mistake-free football. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter if you're young. It don't matter if you you a veteran. Play mistake-free football. And then what I saw, what I will say, from the offensive line that I did not like, and I'll just keep saying this, I don't like Dahlman. I don't like what I saw from Dahlman. He just looked like a straight up, for lack, ain't no lack of a better term. I'll be
He
nice.
was getting bullied. Just go ahead and say it, Mike. He was getting
He
bullied.
I was
He was getting ragged, bullied, beat down. Whatever word you think of, he was it.
His cinnamon toast crunch got snatched.
Bruh, that dude was
Yeah, they
getting
took
pushed
his lunch money, dog.
Bro, it's like you getting pushed like 10 yards back in preseason. I'm like, am I saying what I'm saying? I'm like, this can't be. Like, yeah, you got to get big.
The play that I was looking at, Mike, is when they ran the ball and he almost got pushed into the running back. I was like, yeah, this ain't it. You 10 yards in the backfield. Yeah, the guy didn't make the tackle because you was in front of him, but you dang near got pushed into the running back.
Hey, I told people about Dolman. Dolman is sick. I think he's not big at all. He's not like no big lineman. Even though centers aren't the biggest on the O line, you still got to be quick and you got to be efficient. Dolman showed you in college when he played Washington. I think it wasn't Vita Vea. It was some other big. You know, Washington got all the big Samoan D linemen. It was on the 1 yard line. He got killed that whole possession. It was 4 snaps. He got killed on every possession. And I was just like, yeah, he runs zone option. Now, when he can get to the second level, he's quick enough to get to the second level. On a double team, he'll get up there. But when he gets one-on-one and he got a nose guard or a 3 or a 1 coming to hit him, yeah, he's not ready for that yet. That's just all it is for him. Is like, if you start doing stunts and twists and everything with him, yeah, he going to get confused. It's going to take some time. That's why I think Hennessy really won the job. Because Hennessy's been in the league for a little bit and he's seen stuff like this. And of course he's bigger. So like he's known, like Hennessy is known probably since when Alex Mack left, this is gonna be my job. And then when they drafted the center, he probably still was like, this is my job. Like I think he really knew like they're gonna have to develop dog. Everybody not after Richie. Who was our 3rd round pick? Was Jalen our 3rd round pick?
Jalen Mayfield. Yeah.
Well, really after our 2nd pick, then I think from 3 to 6, some of those guys need development. But mind you, we can't spend money on guys that's gonna give us, right now talent. So would you rather go being bankrupt or go get some young guys and teach them how you want to run your offense and your defense? So that's really how you have to see it.
It's gonna take some time for him. Like I said, that's just part of the draft process, man. Like I said, you gonna draft guys that's either gonna make it go yay, or you gonna get some guy that gonna make it go the fuck we draft him for. But like I said, Drew Dalman, he's gonna need the time. His development is gonna take longer than what we would like. So, hey, it is what it is. Just like I said. If you expected him to be the starter day one, that's going to be one of
those. Like you said, K-Styles, give him some time. He'll be all right. Give him some time because I seen Jalen Mayfield get bullied and beat down too.
Yeah,
and he's way bigger. He's 6'5", 300 plus. And one play, the dude just pushed him all in the backfield as well when he was playing guard. So I think both of those guys, like with rookies, you got to give them time, like K-Styles was saying. I give rookies at least 2 to 3 years. I usually give them about 3 years, and then you can say a player's a bust. I give you 3 years because that means you've been under the system for a little while. You've been able to get with that, those training and conditioning where they, get you on them protein shakes. They have you lifting weights. They get you up to speed. Like I'm telling you, these are not college students no more. You know what I'm saying? When you playing in college, this a whole nother level. As they say, this levels to this. And they seen that when they played that last preseason game. But I like that Arthur Smith put them out there against the ones of the other team. Because now they got to see week 1, this is what you're gonna be seeing. This is what this is the NFL. This is the real NFL.
Let me ask you guys something. I got because you just made a point that I kind of want to bring up, and I want everybody to answer this. Me personally, I think the NFL is changing as far as the evaluation process is concerned, because we're looking at the old, and like you can go back and look at some of the older players. They can't understand why a lot of the starters aren't playing, and this is like you go back and look at the teams the team's walkthroughs and the practices. You go into Miami to practice with their players, and you get in preseason. Like honestly, I think what's happening in the NFL is that we're seeing the starters getting their time with these practices, these joint practices with team, and this is what Matt Ryan, Calvin Ridley, that's where they get their time. And the preseason is really for the guys, the developmental process for those guys. And no longer we're going to see. I honestly believe this. I don't think we're going to see a lot of veteran players playing in, and there's something like you can't just blame, the organizations for this. This is something that the players wanted. They don't want to play in preseason. Starters, like a lot of these starters, they feel like they don't want training camp and they don't want nobody wants training camp, but like they really don't want to play in the preseason. They want to just skip the preseason and go straight to playing the games because it's just like 3 more games that you got and then you're not trying to have to avoid injury. So it's like, do you guys think this is the beginning of something new as far as like the evaluation period is concerned? Process is concerned?
I'm about to say, yeah, I think it's gonna change it, but I think it's really gonna test the mettle of how your GMs and executives evaluate teams, because as we've seen, like with a lot of these teams right now, when you look at guys like J.K. Dobbins getting hurt, you look at Carl Lawson getting hurt. Like I said, Jalen Waddle got the scare in Miami, so. Guys are going to be using this preseason I think it's going to be a better evaluation for the backups more than anything, because, like you said, with the joint practice, I never even thought about that. You just hit me on something that I did think, and that is rare. But yeah, I always got something up my sleeve. But Mike done pulled something out his sleeve that I didn't think about. But yeah, like I said. The joint practices, yeah, like I said, I think that'd be better suited for the starters because, like I said, it's them ones going against ones of another team. Pretty much it was the equivalent of playing game 3 and 4 of the preseason.
All right.
You know how game 3 and 4 preseason is really just a quarter and a drive. So they getting the same type of work.
And what I want, and people were like so judgmental about like the whole preseason not playing the starters. I said, bro, you want to know why we were the fastest team to get through, our 53-man roster, initial 53-man roster? Because we played all those guys every game, and you didn't have to worry about your starters playing. You got to see the talent that was on that team every game, and you didn't have to worry about your starters getting hurt, none of that. Literally. So you really ran the preseason how you should run the preseason. And people were so worried about not being able to see Matt. No. You don't need to see them if you got all these guys on your team that you got to cut. You run the preseason how you're supposed to run it and play these guys that are not going to get PT in the regular season and see how they fare. That's just how you're supposed to do it. It made no sense to me why people was complaining about that. Like, if you don't know how football runs, then don't come out and say something stupid like that.
Right.
I'll say this when it comes to the preseason. To answer Mike's question, I do think we're going to see it change. And if you look at like 75% of the starters for most teams out of all 32 teams didn't play. So I think it is going to change, like the way that we look at preseason. But I also think in the next CBA, it's going to get changed where they're probably going to add another regular season game, and it'll be down to 2 preseason games. And then you strictly will be seeing those guys that's about to get cut. You're not going to see no starters at all because you only have a limited time. Like, if you remember, it went from 4 games to 3 games, and then they added a 17th game. So at this point, it's like, when are we going to actually see see these other guys? Like Tyrone was saying, if we play Matt Ryan and we play these the starters, how many snaps are we going to have for these young guys that we're going to have to evaluate and try to cut? And how can we test the depth that we have on the roster? Because I thought that was really smart when I listened to Arthur Smith talking about the depth. We want to see what depth we have because we know that inevitable is going to happen. Somebody's going to go down. One of these starters is going to go down, even if it's not for like the season, maybe for a couple games, like a sprained ankle here, sprained ankle there. You know, all different things happen during the course of a season where a guy may have to sit out a game or two. So you want to know, do we have a cornerback number 2 that can take Fabian Monroe if he has a rolled ankle, or if AJ Terrell, God forbid, you know, goes down? Do you have somebody, and who's that next guy up? Because a lot of the times you got 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 corners, but who is that next guy who can play outside, who can play the nickel, who can do this? So they tried. If you notice, he had all them guys playing different positions as well. He had some playing the slot, he had some playing outside. So we've seen Tua Yodi Mariner get his ankles broke at practice, but they wanted to know, can this man cover? We might need him to cover sometime. Can he cover the flats? You know, you don't know until you put him out there.
Right. Hold on, Mike. Before I get, I just want to get one thing that you said about the 18th game. Like, if they do the 18th game, they're going to have to increase the roster size if they do. They can't keep 53 because ain't no way in hell.
They're gonna have to.
Ain't no way in hell that's gonna be able to happen. You gonna have to increase the roster size, because if you don't, trust me, y'all, you gonna be playing Blitz the League 2 out here the way. I'm just saying,
it's coming, bro. Because you seen like with the, I think it's 16 now that you can carry on a practice squad, but you see this year they're already talking about like they changed the way the PUP list is set up, where you put somebody on injury reserve, you can bring them back early because of COVID and all of that. I believe that's going to be a permanent rule, because we know Rich McKay is on the committee that votes on these rules and stuff like that. So trust me, it's all in the works. They're already looking at it right now to see, because what they want is the most parity as possible, and they want to make the most money. Let's be honest. It's about money. If you can get more regular season games, they'll rather do it, because I watched the preseason game. We ain't selling out preseason. Like, let's be real, because we know that the starters are not playing. So if you cut one of those preseason games and make that a real game, you're going to sell more tickets. Point blank in the period, you're going to make more money with the TV deals and stuff like that. So when it all boils down to it, it's about that almighty dollar. And I'll leave it at that.
Shit, it's always been about, think about it, they got a new organization sponsoring the team every year. What the hell you expect?
Yeah. Whoever give you the most money going to be the one that sponsor your program. Look at, man, the only sport that doesn't do that is basketball, because they had to get into multi-year contracts in basketball. But football, you can get to have Emory 1 year, next year you can have Grady. You know, it's no matter who it is. If you give me as much money as you can. The only resident sponsor we've had all these years has been Home Depot, and that's because of Arthur Blank, really and truly.
Right.
And Coke, maybe Coke, but yeah, those are the only 2 I can think of since I've been little. I've seen around the team.
Yeah, but then also when you're talking about that possible 18th game season, what clauses are they going to put in these contracts? Because already adding one extra game is damn near suicide. Adding another one after that is a death trap ready to happen. So I wonder what's going to be kind of like the clauses that they're going to put as far as these contracts.
I say more guaranteed money. I think it'll be more guaranteed money in certain contracts. If you got 18 games, you got to guarantee more money then at that point. Because there's no way you're going to make me play 18 games and I don't get at least a good portion of my contract.
That's going to be a run on defensive linemen and offensive linemen. They increased these. So you're going to see a lot of guys that you don't necessarily see being taken, like in the first and second rounds, because like you said, like they're going to have to increase the roster. Like, if you're going to be able to compete, if you want to be able to compete, well, you got to have those big guys up front. So you might see guys that aren't necessarily round 2 prospects being taken in round 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to see a run. So it's like, I like it. And it's like, it's devaluing the skill positions. But I honestly believe that like the skill position should be devalued anyway, because everybody's fast, everybody's quick. Like, you can find athletes, but you can't find the monsters up front. Like, that's one thing you can't do. You can't find those monsters up front. who just like physical specimens, and like they just they stand out. So like I honestly think that's the way it should be. The value the skill positions, because I'm tired of seeing these running backs being taken in the first rounds, and they barely even rush for 500 yards in the season. Like, come on, bro. Let me see a big haul. I want to see a big haul. You know what I'm saying? Being taken in the first couple of rounds.
And for the people that might not understand the back, what he just said is, your football team ain't going nowhere without the trenches.
Right.
I don't give a damn how many, but you can have you can have 9 Hall of Famers. Well, you can have 4 Hall of Fame skill players on offense. If that offensive line ain't holding up, they ain't worth a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Your O-line bad, your whole offense bad. Literally.
Exactly. Like I said, ask David Carr. How the hell you a quarterback get sacked 76 times your rookie year and get gunshot after that? Yeah. Ain't no way in hell. Let's see what some people saying. Nomad Joker said something else too. He said if they add an 18th game, they'll need to add another bye week for each team.
I mean, they're going to do whatever they got to do to make that money. Trust me, they're going to do whatever they got to do to make that extra money, dog. If they need to add another bye week, so be it.
You get 2. You have to get 2 and 18. You're probably, and hopefully you don't get an early bye week, because then you're going to have to run off. Ooh. Yeah. You get say we go October to September to like what? You might hit February with 18 games. Or you going late January. So
unless they start the season earlier though, Tyrone, like what they could do, like what we seeing like right now, the season started like September, like after Labor Day, they could actually start the regular season like when we seen these last preseason games. So like the first regular season game would be like this week or next week. So they basically will be cutting the preseason short. So you'll just be starting the regular games earlier than you normally would at the end of the day. So it ain't really going to be that big of a difference. Now the
hot. Let's put it like it's gonna be hotter.
Exactly.
Where you at? It's gonna be tight. Yeah. It's gonna be weird. I mean, so let's say we did start the regular season like the 15th. That's so weird because then you don't even have college football. College football started last Saturday, so you're used to college football. You got a couple weeks and then NFL football. That's gonna be so weird to start NFL before college. So. It's just and then you don't get a lot of time. You're gonna have to start. That's like what the NBA did though, with their whole situation with COVID. Right after they started the season, you went straight into regular like you finished in November and started the season in December. So like it's gonna be the same type of situation like that, which that's a brutal schedule to start, really and truly. An early bye week will hurt though. Let's think about that. That hurts you. If you got a bye week like October, and then if you get let's say you get 2 and you get one in like let's say you get one in August and then one in September, you running off at least 16 games. Like I guess that's horrible.
Wow. Like everybody saying here, that's gonna be like one of those like. Ugh. Can you imagine? You get your bye week in week 4.
Oh,
you gotta
God!
Yeah. Oh, moderators! God damn it! They came back.
Please. Oh, Jesus Christ! I ain't got time for this today. I ain't got time for this mess. We were going good until you
shit again. Webcamchats.com, hot girls and
this
boys.
This is not OnlyFans, okay? OnlyFans is on OnlyFans.com, all right? This is Man Like Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, Utah Sports K-Style. Like, look, this ain't OnlyFans, okay?
No solicitations.
Exactly. We don't get that shit over here.
No.
The only thing we talk about over here is sports. We don't sell sex or nothing over here. So no, ignore that. But
what in the world, man?
Lord have mercy. Yeah, everybody sitting here busting out laughing. Like, really? Did that just happen again?
Oh my god!
I'm about to say, is it, bro? I'm just noticed something. Is it me or have we been seeing a lot of this activity lately?
Bro, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is, but it's oh my goodness.
It sounds like one of those negative detractors trying to pull some BS.
Oh my god! Here you go.
Here come the conspiracy.
It's the spirits of the we call them the United Nation of Atlanta Falcon Nation haters.
Hey,
we call them the United Nations. I think they trying to sabotage. I think that's what that is right there.
Man, look, hey man,
because it went on for a month straight, bro.
I don't know why.
Black Migos might be one of them, but there's a whole lot more of them.
Absolutely.
Y'all just don't know that part yet. We got a $5.
Holla.
Lucas Stritcher said, "I want me a breezy, ice cold, freezy, Maddie ice washing machine."
Boy.
Appreciate the laugh, bro. Exactly, boy. That washing machine, boy, that thing gonna be about $15,000. You talking about that? Like, oh Lord, Nathan, stupid. He talking about it's Joe Biden.
Oh Lord.
Don't get me started on that shit. So we're gonna leave that alone. We good. Don't get me started on that. Hey, look, VF Baller says Devontae Freeman trolling us.
He need a job. That might give him a job. He might be able to do something over there, you know.
Hey, shit. Hey. I mean, he got cut from his lifelong dream. I mean,
Jesus.
He would be mad. He did say it was a lifelong dream, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey man,
he just came out of nowhere with that too. That's the wild part. Like, what?
I want to get on this one. I want to get on that one.
I seen this one. Tony Wright said, former Falcon corner Desmond Trufant was released by the Bears as he is now looking for a roster spot. Detroit Lions still owe him $3.5 million from last season. So you got an idea about that, Mike, that you want to discuss with us?
Well, I've always stated that Desmond Trufant should have never been cut, but due to the salary cap, we had absolutely no choice but to do that. It was just too much money to keep him. You can't say that Desmond Trufant. I mean, if you wanted to nitpick, you could say, okay, he got injured here, you got injured there. But like for the most part, like Desmond Trufant was never the reason why we lost a lot of games. Like in fact, like he, even before he went out with the broken forearm, the dude was like, he had like a couple of games where he had like 2 picks and then another pick and a forced fumble. Like he was playing well with the Falcons. Even under Dan Quinn, bull crap cover 3 systems. Like he's a physical corner. His technique has always been elite. But when he doesn't have a pass rush, that's where he tends to kind of because he's not a ball hawk type of corner. And I don't think even in these his skills were being I don't think his skills were being I guess what's the word for it? Just being maximized. I like Detroit was just it was a zone team. I just think they was a zone team, and if you just try to make Trufant a zone corner, then you're not getting the best out of Trufant because I still think he's a very capable corner, and if you put him on this team, I'm just talking about this team with the Isaiah Oliver, AJ Green, like he could really really teach AJ the ins and outs of the corner. position, especially technique, because I don't think anybody in the league, as far as technique is concerned, was as good as Trufant as his technique. He doesn't get beat a lot outside of being Mike Evans' bitch. Like Mike Evans was like just like he ran through, and that's just because the dude like 7 feet tall. But like if you put Trufant in a slot and move him around, I think he'll be able to add some value to this team. But I'm not signing him for anything, more than $1 million. But like he would have to come here for like a vet minimum, because at this point I still don't quite trust anything outside of Isaiah Oliver. I like Moreau, I like AJ, and I like Oliver. But outside of that, I don't trust anybody. In this league, you need more than at this point. Like really, you need more than 3 corners. So like if you can bring him in for like again maybe 500,000 and some incentives, maybe. But like I think Trufant would be a good. But like I could understand if the Falcons did like if they didn't want to like go back into the Dan Quinn era. Like I totally understand that. But like as far as his skill set, I still think he could be that 4th or 5th corner that we need, to be honest.
I don't know, man, because he, like I said, the ball skills is questionable though. That's the only thing. That's the only thing about me. I understand when you say as far as
that's what we got. That's why I said that's why AJ Terrell comes in the factor, because we don't have to worry about those ball skills, because you got Dion and you got Fourier. We didn't have those guys. We didn't have those guys when he was here. We didn't have those guys. We didn't have none of those guys. But you're right. Though.
Yeah. That would say that'd be the only thing, because it's that PTSD of me being at that Bengals game live. Trufant for the second week in a row dropped the interception that led to us losing the game, because it could have just stopped everything else. But
it's another.
Yeah.
I was going to say that other cornerback on the other side of Trufant was the real problem child.
Yeah, thank you.
Wait a minute.
I'm not going. I told you I can't say his name. But the other person on the other side of Trufant.
Goddamn, I say his name. Robert, I got a flag offer. Yeah.
But I'll
say the name.
The only thing I got about Trufant is like Mike said, if he comes in and just be a teacher, like if he comes in on the vet man and just teaches these guys a little bit, we got young guys, and he just comes in and helps with their development. Like we know Deron Harmon and Eric Harris they're gonna start, but by the halfway through the season, we might see them on the bench just in street clothes. So. And that's really what you want. You want these young guys to do, because they're cheap. Let's be honest; these guys are cheap while they're here, and if you can develop them and you can save some money. Then when you really want a star, you can go get one. So, but I don't like the Trufant situation either. How they did him really dirty, because I think they said his granddad died or something, and then he went off to stay with his family, and then they cut him. That's dirty.
Bruh, I'm about to say, man, hold on.
I'll say this about Trufant.
Hold on, let me get this out the way.
Go ahead, K-Style.
I actually have a flag here. It's not yellow, because Robert Offer got so many of them it turned black.
Wow. This is real, boy. Every
time we saw him, you'd be like this. And whatchamacallit says something about he had the interception in the Super Bowl, but don't forget the 3 pass interferences calls he had afterwards. One of them may have been questionable, but there was about 2 more that was like, I don't know.
And a drop interception on top of it. So
would have won us the game, But
this ain't a do-rag. This is an actual flag. This is a black flag.
All right, K-Styles.
Oh,
I'm gonna say this about Trufant. When Mike brought up Trufant name, you know who I thought about?
Oh.
The old veteran. Y'all know who I love. Bleedy Way. Bleedy Way Wilson. That's who I thought about. Y'all know how I feel about smart corners, playmakers. They're not the fastest. Bleedy Way was not. He was just in the right place at the right time. So at the right dollar amount, I would bring Trufant back, depending on how much he's looking, because I think he's still owed money. So we can bring him in on the vet minimum deal, like Mike was saying. You can never have enough corners. And we don't have a lot of veteran corners. Like, we have a ton of young guys. Darren Hall is young. Avery Williams is young. So we need that. We really don't have a veteran. Like, other than Fabian Monroe, AJ Terrell, I really don't consider him a veteran. He's in his second year. So we don't really have no veteran corners. So at the end of the day, if we can bring Trufant back at the right price, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like I said, you need that guy that you can count on, because Bleedy Way was that guy where if somebody went down or whenever he got in the game, he made plays. So I think Trufant could be that same type of guy. Like K-Style said, he didn't have the best ball skills. He wasn't a guy that was going to jump routes and nothing like that. He was just technically sound. Same thing with Bleedy. Bleedy didn't jump routes or nothing like that. He was just smart. And I think you can't teach experience. And that's what Trufant could bring to this locker room, and he could bring to that DB room, because there's not a lot of experience in that DB room right now. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. And you have an actual defensive coordinator that's going to bring pressure and going to blitz, and you're not going to have to cover for 10 to 12 seconds, because nobody can cover that long. So as much as we like to get on Robert Alford, personally, I was a Robert Alford fan. I know everybody hate Robert Alford for the PIs and stuff like that, but I don't care who you had playing corner. You could have had Deion Sanders himself. Dan Quinn would have made him look bad at the end of the day, because we would have ran cover 3 and we wouldn't have gave him no help. We would have left him out on the island like he did Isaiah Oliver, who we all thought couldn't play until Dan Quinn was gone, and then all of a sudden, miraculously, he could actually play football. So at the end of the day, I don't even know if I can trust anybody's tape at this point when Dan Quinn was here, because he made all of those players look worse than they really were. So at the end of the day, I'll say bring Trufant back at the right price.
I'm gonna have to say this again. Kareem Hunt, no.
Did he get cut? I don't see him getting cut. Is he he's just a free agent?
No, hold on. No, I don't think he got cut.
Oh no. I think everybody's saying he got cut, bro.
Because I done checked on Twitter and I done checked on Google, and I don't think.
I don't know where y'all getting that from, but I don't think Kareem Hunt has been released. He may be on the trading block, but that's for any backup running back or any backup player. They're always on the trading block.
Right.
But he got to get paid. He got a money thing going on with him right now, because they got him and Chubb. So
we good on that. No Kareem Hunt. How many running backs y'all want? We got 5. We just cut a running back. We cut 2 running backs because we ain't got no space for them. So what we gonna do with Kareem Hunt?
We got Cordero, we got Allison, we got Mike. We good, bro.
Exactly. How many runs y'all think is in the game? You may get what? Maybe 30 touches for the running back.
Sports Illustrated. Yeah, Kareem Hunt was cut, but goddamn, like that, we ain't got enough room for that.
Nah.
And he gonna want to get paid. Let's be honest. You know he gonna want to get paid.
Yeah.
So
that's the issue. You got a bunch of running backs that you running on house money right now. That
look. I just got to say this. Look, stop. Look.
Mike, you need me to say it for you?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jude. Just.
I'm gonna say this. Can we give these young guys a chance? That's all I'm gonna say. Give Allison a chance. I just seen something out of Allison in that last preseason game. I seen a play where he bounced it outside and he showed a little bit of speed when he got on the sideline. I thought he was gonna score a touchdown, but all he had to do was put his shoulder down. He would have scored. I think he ran out of bounds like the 1 yard line. But let's give some of these young guys a chance. Just give these young guys a chance. We don't know what Quadri Allison is because we always putting somebody in front of him. Let the man prove himself. I mean, goodness gracious. Like, I understand you guys. We want the brand name guys that we've seen, but let's see what these young guys can do. At the end of the day, we got a good coach here that knows how to. He's going to bring that West Coast running scheme, and he's going to create open holes. If you see Kyle Shanahan, how many running backs have Kyle Shanahan had and made 1,000-yard rusher? Like, right. You don't need the. We just seen Todd Gurley here last year. No disrespect to Todd Gurley. I love Todd Gurley. But we seen just bringing in a name doesn't mean anything if you can't block for him. And if you don't drop the right plays. I know Kareem Hunt is a great running back, but at the end of the day, we don't know what Quadri Allison is, and he's younger, he's cheaper, but we keep saying that too. We don't really have a lot of money, to be honest. So whoever we bring in, we're going to have to be smart about it. That was the whole thing about, you mentioned earlier, Mike, when we were talking about Cam Newton. We didn't even bring up the contract situation. Like, we can't even afford Cam Newton, to be real. Like, you were talking about Josh Rosen and Felipe Franks. He make more than both of them combined. So we couldn't even afford to bring a guy like Cam Newton in. So let's just give these guys a chance. We don't know if he's better than Quadri Allison. We say that now because we haven't seen Quadri Allison over an extended period of time. So, yeah, Kareem Hunt is better because we got tape on Kareem Hunt. We don't have enough tape on Quadri Allison to really make that comparison. So I agree with you. Kareem Hunt is better because I've seen Kareem Hunt over years. I don't know what Quadri Allison is yet. So let's see what he can do. Give him a chance.
Yeah, but I'm one, and Drew, we've had this conversation before. Look, I'm tired of these old players, okay? I'm tired of bringing everybody old trash to this team. Know what I'm saying? Not saying that Kareem Hunt is trash, but he got a lot of mileage on him. Quadri doesn't. Mike Davis, he got a few miles on him, but for the most part, it's like last year was his only year, like really starting for most of the year. So he doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on his body, you know. And then you got, you know, Cordero Patterson. It's like he's still, you know, relatively young as far as like running back position. He's going to be that flex position. He's going to be a running back. He's going to be a wide receiver. So he's going to be able to do some, you know, a lot of things with him. I feel as though that they're going to use the fullback position with Keith Smith a lot better than what they use. But because if you look back at Arthur Smith and the way he designed plays, he uses his fullbacks. He used those guys in the passing game. He used them in the running game. I believe it was the play to – I forget who it was. It may have been a touchdown. It was on the goal line, and I think they call like a play action fullback flat, and he didn't quite get there, but he uses his fullback. So it's like he's going to use all of his backs. So it's like there won't be a lot of opportunities for a Kareem Hunt because, like, when you look at Cleveland, they need to run the ball because Baker Mayfield is not it. Okay. He ain't it, all right? I'm just here to let y'all know. That dude, if he got to throw the ball 40 times a game, they going to lose. There's a reason why they got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and they run the ball as much as they do. Before, they weren't as good as explosive offensively before they got their running game. And like I said, I just don't believe in bringing in all these broken, old running backs. I don't care about what he did with Nick Chubb. For the most part, Nick Chubb carried that team to begin with. So Kareem didn't necessarily have to do it on his own. So again, I like him, but that's two things: wear and tear. And look, I don't need to relive. I don't need to hear D-Led talking about, you know, bringing up some old stuff in his past anymore. Like, I don't want to have to.
You know. So how was your assault case? Blah blah blah. Shut up, D-Led. Like, I don't even.
Like, I ain't trying to hear that. I ain't trying to hear that mess no more. Okay, stop. Get in the lead, bro. What are you doing all the way down there?
The storm hit you, K Styles. The storm hit you.
Man, damn power went on and off, man. You know how that shit goes.
That storm hit him. That storm that hit everybody. If you stay in Georgia, that storm done hit you today.
Man, I'm fine down here. I don't feel like moving the shit. So they know who the hell I am. Oh man. All right, look, what I done missed? Cause
we just expanded on the Kareem Hunt, and we were saying, me personally, I said I'm just tired of getting all these old running backs. Like, look, bro, let's see what these young guys can do, man. Like seriously, like we've had enough. We always talk about Matt Ryan. Y'all need to replace Matt Ryan, but like, how can it's just so hypocritical? Y'all want to replace, Matt Ryan, but y'all don't want to give Quadri Oderson, a younger guy, an opportunity. Y'all don't want to give everybody else, guys like Russell Gage, an opportunity. Like, let's keep it 100, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's be real, bro. Like, that's what it comes down to. Let these guys show.
Tell them, Mike. Let's stop wasting draft picks like that. If you want to be a winning team, learn how to draft right. If you can draft a bunch, like people forget. And I'm gonna be done, K-Stop, and I'll let you go. But if you look at that Seattle team, what made them great when they had Russell Wilson and they won those Super Bowls, they had Cam Chancellor, they had Richard Sherman, they had Earl Thomas, all of those guys on rookie deals. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we still got Quadri Oderson on the rookie deal. We've already wasted, 2 or 3 years of that rookie deal when he's going to be needing to get paid 2 years of that rookie deal. Well, we could have been getting some quality, play out of him on the field. So, we need to learn how to stop wasting draft picks. Like when Dan Quinn was here, that was something we were notorious for as draft capital. We just waste draft picks. We don't use the players that we have because you can use that premium dollars on that player that you really need. But we wasted so many draft picks. It's like we don't need to go out and pay a running back. We just paid Mike Davis. Like, let's use these draft picks, these guys on these rookie deals that we can get maybe a lot of production out of. And let's squeeze some production while we got them still on the rookie deal. You got it, K-Styles.
So basically what it just sounds like to me is a lot of people living in the moment again. I know I understand it's exciting because we saw what he did in Kansas City, how he should have been the Kansas City franchise running back. And unfortunately, the hotel thing happened, which I believe wasn't all his fault. He had the wrong motherfuckers around. It's just one of those things where whatever. But we got, like I said, and this is one of the issues that I think as sports fans, not just Falcons fans, but sports fans, this is kind of one thing that we kind of get. Well, a lot of people talk shit about certain sports fans is because we tend to live within the moment. We think of the what if we got this without looking at the situation behind it. Like you said, you already strapped for cash. Like I said, you can like I can understand if Mike Davis wasn't on this team, we'd be the first one to tell you, go and get Kareem Hunt.
Right.
Yeah.
You got Cordero Patterson.
That's the only way you would go get him. If you needed a running back. We don't need a running back.
Right.
Like, you don't need a running back. We just cut two, like somebody said, we cut two of them. We don't need a why in the world? You got 3 on the roster if you count Cordell Patterson as a running back. You got 3 on the roster. You hopefully get Huntley off waivers and keep him, on the practice squad.
Right.
So you got 4. That's 4. So now you got 4 running backs that you can, you hope one day, if Mike, if we can keep Mike Davis, we can, if we re-sign him and he doesn't want that much money, we can keep him on a longer term contract. You're gonna have Quadri here for a little bit, so that's your 2. Now, if you want to keep Huntley,
you can save some money. If Quadri continues to be the guy that we believe that he can be, and Mike Davis decide he wants a new contract, like you can. This is what the Patriots been doing for years. All they do, they go. They use these guys for the first 4 years and then, decide if they're a superstar. If they're not a superstar, they did it. They just traded Sony Michel. They just did it to Sony. So it's like, stop wasting these picks. And that's what you were talking about. Like, and to kind of further point another, to elaborate on what you were saying about, it's like, it doesn't matter if these running backs, we go out and sign these running backs. it doesn't matter. Why? Because if you can't block for him, what the hell good is a running back? You know what I'm saying? So like, let's see what these offensive linemen. Like, I'd rather if it was an offensive lineman out there, okay, go out and make a deal for a guy like we did with Andy Levitre. Go trade for a guy that like can add depth to this offensive line like we need at this moment. So it's like I would rather do that than go, sign a running back, to be honest.
Yeah, and like you said, we ain't dealing with Thomas Dimitrov, Smithers looking ass, and his because I know people talking about, well, what do you mean by wasting draft picks? I mean, if you look at the draft history we had before this year, you got some hits, you got a lot of misses, and it ain't even misses. And it's not even misses that these players are bad. It's misses the fact that these are guys you're not giving chances. Like you got situation. Like I said, you got situation. Like I'll give you an example.
Man,
I know, and I know a lot of people like to erase this from memory. But you had chances to get a couple young running backs in 2014. But you get Steven Jackson. Like I said, it's a catch. We love Steven. We fell for the Steven Jackson hype too. But then after year one, everybody was like, "Boo! Get your ass up out here! You done." I remember.
Oh man.
I forgot about that era. I don't even know why you brought that back to my memory. God, I forgot about that era.
But like I said, I say it like this for me, especially when it comes to draft picks. I would rather see what a draft pick can do than bring in somebody that you have no idea is gonna fit into your system.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, we look at the catch-22 with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt could be a good running back, but what if he doesn't gel with this team?
Mm-hmm.
Anything can happen.
It's wasted money. I'd rather waste a draft pick than waste money, bro. Like, it's like you can't get that money. Get that money back, bro. That money is spent,
bro. Do you remember the John Austin? I'm gonna ask y'all people here. Do y'all remember the John Asamoah contract?
Yo, bro. Oh my God, that was like $28-30 million deal. Wow. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're talking about. You can get if you miss on a pick, then you can trade away away a couple of people, even trade away a pick to get another pick. Like you can get a pick back. But when you talk about free agency and spending money, bro, that money is spent.
You don't know how it's gonna affect your team, really and truly. Let's be honest. Because if you go into a situation where this off season, let's say we didn't even have enough money to get anybody. Let's say we would just went and got a tight end without drafting Kyle Pitts. Let's say who went to Tennessee? I mean not Tennessee. Who went to the Patriots? Let's say we would have got Hunter Henry or something, right? Mm-hmm. We would have spent all that because you was gonna have to give Hunter Henry a bag. Mm-hmm. And then imagine if he would have got hurt or something would have happened where you're just like, oh, why did we spend all that money? Well, now don't be mad because you told us to go get him. You as a fan base, I want to go spend the money. So don't be mad now he hurt. Now you like, we should never spend that money. It's the same thing with Steven Jackson. When Steven Jackson was a free agent, it was people out here. We need to go get Steven Jackson. We need to go get Steven Jackson. Look what he did in St. Louis. And after his first season here, we was like, yeah, he need to go. Trade him away. Don't be telling, you can't tell these GMs what to do. And some GMs really listen to fan input.
And you
can tell TD was one of them. So, and like James said, it's not like Terry gonna listen to us. Terry don't care. He don't care about what y'all gotta say. He gonna run the organization how he does.
Right, he does not.
Exactly. Yeah, because if we want to go into that too, like I said, there's been quite a couple where, like I said, Ray Edwards was another one. Ray Edwards, yeah, Ray, yeah, we got a pass rusher to go with John Abraham. We wanted him out after 4 games.
I ain't gonna lie. I was a part of that Terry Poe hype. I'm not gonna lie. When Terry Poe got here, I thought he was gonna be the dog, and then he just too
Terry
fat.
Poe was that. Terry Poe was that dude, bro. They didn't want to pay him. That was the problem.
We weren't gonna pay him. We weren't gonna, and it was so weird because it was so funny how we structured his contract. I don't think anybody remembers the exact. If he was over 350 or something like that, he wasn't gonna get part of his contract. If he didn't wait, if he couldn't run this fast or he couldn't lift this much, it was really like a horrible contract for him. Like that was so crazy. That was a crazy situation. We should have still kept him though. I don't know.
I think by them not re-signing Terry Poe is kind of what hurt the development of this defense.
Mm-hmm.
It hurt the development of this defense a lot by not keeping him.
But you got
all he wanted was $8-9 million. That's all he wanted was $8-9 million, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't want to pay him or Adrian Claiborne. Yep.
Exactly.
Yep.
Who did we end up paying afterwards on that one? Let me see. That's 2018.
Wasn't it Vic?
No, we gave Muhammad Sanu. I think they gave like the offense. Like
it was mostly the offense.
Yeah.
Most of the offense got most of the money. Oh yeah, Jamon Brown and James Carpenter. What the fuck? 300 pounds of pudding. Yeah. Like I said, we can't take too much stock into these free agents like that, unless you're willing to suffer the dire consequences to go that could possibly go with it.
I just feel like people don't understand. We have been ran by a man that didn't know how to spend money. Let's be honest. He was just wasting Arthur's money. Really, he just wasted Arthur's money.
Look, I don't know if I should say this, but I'll stop because I can see Miss Maggie her eyes like, watch what you say. I didn't think I think what Thomas Dimitrov is just a rich person that he got a job and he got a position. He ain't never been in the trenches. He ain't never been in the quote unquote the hood, out for the lack of a better term. And he just got a job and he just started just doing and spending money like he ain't like new money. All right, let's just say that he was new money. That's what he was. New money.
Yeah.
He ain't never had no money before. As soon as he got that money, he took that money straight to the damn. Look, you remember that dude who won the lottery and he took that money to a jewel? That's what Thomas Dimitrov did with this organization.
Oh my
he got
God.
some new money, he got a new job, and he just started spending money like crazy.
Yeah, he did. He didn't. I see John Edwards talking about he got us a lot of talent. I wouldn't say a lot of talent.
Well, hell, he did. He got us Julio Jones. He got us Julio Jones, and he ran Julio Jones to the
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley. We know that wasn't necessary at the time.
Right.
You got good players, but you was getting players that wasn't fitting what they. Be honest with you, the problem with Thomas Dimitrov is he didn't have a plan on how they wanted the team constructed. He wanted the high-powered offense, but you got defensive-minded head coaches.
John, that's 4 players. That's 4 players right there. You said Julio, Ryan, Ridley, great 5.
Bruh, the 2012 draft class said everything, bruh. Just look up the 2012 draft class. I don't want to read them names no more. I'm tired of reading them names.
That's it. I think one thing too.
I'm gonna look at it right now.
What a lot of people don't understand is that you got to, even when they just say you want a high-powered offense. Well, you gotta build your defense to kind of combat what that offense, like what I mean by that, when you look at I go back to I'll just say the 2002. No, I go back to the 98, 99 Falcons with Jamal Anderson and Chuck Smith, Travis Hall, those guys when they made it to it. It's like what made them so good? Like Chuck Smith, those guys were big. They were run defenders. They were run defenders first and foremost. Outside of Chuck Smith, that's what they were. They were big. They were disciplined. And I know Chuck probably looking at me like, bro, we had guys like, but in essence, those guys were designed to stop the run, and they would get after the quarterback as a result. But they had an offense that would kill the clock. So those they work well together. So it's like if the offense isn't running the ball, then Chuck Smith them can't really do what they do best. You know what I'm saying? Be all around defenders. So it's like if you're gonna build a defense, an offense that's a strike first, you got to have a defense that's going to get turnovers, and that's something that we never had. We did not have a defense that was able to get turnovers. That's how you got it, because you look at the Rams. You look at even, the 49ers. They had, with Deion Sanders. They brought Deion Sanders in, and they instantly turned into, Super Bowl contender just with that one move, because Deion got turnovers. So it's like they had a high-powered offense, and that's something that Tommy Dimitroff, he never knew that this team needed playmakers. You got to have playmakers. And we never went to go get them playmakers. We had an opportunity to go get Honey Badger. We had opportunity to get Buda Baker. We had opportunity to go get all these playmakers on defense, and he just passed them. Sorry about that, K-Side. Sorry about that, bro. But you got
Hit the nail on the head.
I'm sorry. When he
Hit the
said
nail on
Buda
the
Baker,
head.
I just had to put my motherfucking head down. Cause I'm like, Tat McKinley over Buda Baker. Over
Tap
TJ
McKinley over
Watt.
TJ Watt. That's all you got to say.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second.
Yeah. Hey, I'll just say this, K-Styles, and I'll just say this to the whole panel. Like Mike said, I think one of the biggest things with Thomas Dimitroff is he didn't pay the right players. Like, you had those glue guys on your team, and he didn't hire, or he didn't re-sign those guys that were like the glue guys that really were doing all the dirty work. Like me and Mike have talked about it on numerous shows. You had the Rashid Hagermans, you had the Dontari Poe. Like, if you think about it, the last time we made the playoffs is when we were decent in the trenches, when we had big guys up front. The last time we made the playoffs was 2017. That was the last year that Dontari Poe left. We didn't re-sign him in 2018, and everything went downhill from there. We didn't, and then Rashid Hagerman got in a little bit of trouble off the field, and they didn't want to bring him back. Or he was going through like an investigation, and they didn't want to bring him back. So I think they tried to bring him back for like a hot second, but then they didn't. They decided not to bring him back. So it was just like,
Dan Quinn just quit. I think that was more so TD and his.
Yeah. So it's like ever since we lost those value positions. Because if you look at the New England's, like Mike talked about New England's, when you talk about running backs, all of the guys that we were saying we wanted in the draft is New England went out and got them. The kid Stevenson that run the ball came out of Oklahoma.
So
I wanted Chuba Hubbard. He looking good for the Panthers. Like pretty much all of the running backs I had on our draft wish list that we decided to pass on is beefy. So it's just like. It go to show, man.
I thought when we got to the fourth round and he was still on the board, I was like, you need to go get him now. I was like, you got to go get Chuba right there. And we go get him, and I was just like, that's gonna bite us. I knew, and I felt it. I was like, that's gonna bite us. I'm believing Quadran, Mike. I'm believing the guys that we got on this team, but I was just like, God, he was just sitting right there, really and truly. Like, he was just sitting there, and we didn't grab him. It just was like, bro, golly.
But that's this year. We finna see what, like I said, we can't really judge a draft class until after the second year. So so like I said, we can't really say anything right now as far as that. But bruh, that was it. And I don't know if anybody checked out Secret Base in their Atlanta Falcons video history they've been going through these past couple days. But bruh, y'all need to go check that out. And the one that they put out today is gonna be the one everybody's gonna be wanting to see. It's gonna talk about the Michael Vick era of Atlanta Falcon football. Boy, I'm gonna tell you right now, Bobby Petrino ain't shit in the worst way. Bruh, Bobby Petrino, bruh, I don't know what the hell. They called Jim Moore Jr. I'm gonna just say like they called Jim Moore Jr. the weird son that thinks out of his ass. We saw that. Bobby Petrino was a known procrastinator. We saw that.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about negative stuff.
Oh no, the only thing I say that they need to check that out on is they really need to focus on the Michael Vick stuff as far as how the teams was and how these coaches was getting their shits because Michael Vick wasn't developing as a quarterback. This is the one thing we always say. You can run the ball, but if you can't develop as a quarterback, your time just gets smaller and smaller. Yes, I'm talking about Jim Moore Jr.
Hey, yeah, I see. I like that comment Didi put saying I wanted them to re-sign Tevin Coleman over Devontae Freeman. That was I think at the time I think Devontae was that was one of DQ's picks. So not DQ, but that was one of TD's picks. So they was gonna choose Devontae, and Devontae wasn't bad. I won't say he wasn't bad. He just
that was both of them. No, that was Kyle Shanahan's pick. Kyle Shanahan wanted him.
That don't make no sense. And then brought him to San Francisco with him.
Yeah, that was all because he liked those explosive guys, like a Terrell Davis, like that. That was all him. But hey man, we're gonna go to these Q&A. If you ain't got a new topic, yeah, let's go on this Q&A, man, and
only thing I'll say is, like I said, for anybody that watches, like I said, look up the history of the Atlanta Falcons, and boy, y'all talk about ineptitude that this franchise done went through. They thinking these Matt Ryan years is fucking ineptitude. They ain't seen shit. I'm just gonna say that.
Well, I want to say this though. We can sit back and say that it was all terrible and all that, but like what it all come down to is that every franchise has to learn at some point. Like Jerry Jones, they lost. Like people don't realize before the 90s that the Dallas Cowboys were the laughing stock of the league. Even I understand that, and that's what makes great organizations because of, you got to go through the storm. You know what I'm saying? Like everything is just going to start out pieces of cream. All right, like everybody ain't, I wouldn't even say the San Francisco 49ers. So like even before the 49ers, before Bill Walsh, the Niners wasn't that great of an organization also. So like I understand that, but like that's how you grow as an organization is through failure. We know what not to do now. All right, we've had what's his name? Taylor Smith, Rankin Smith, those guys as owners. Now Arthur Blank, he knows what not to do as an owner. So it's like, yeah, I hear it, and like we don't want to relive that. But I thank God for a coach like Jim Moore and damn Bobby Petrino because he knows what not. He knows the warning signs of what not to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I hear it, and I like everybody say even 28-3. Like I'm actually glad that 28-3 happened because again, We won't be in this situation where we're getting it right. You know what I'm saying? We know what type of coaches we need. We need guys that are going to build, that accountability first and foremost. Because if you don't have that accountability, it doesn't matter what type of players you bring in, what type of coach. Accountability is what makes champions, and that's the end all be all.
I like that. Character is built through adversity, man.
Mm-hmm. That's
truly,
that's truly it.
And now I said we can put out, like I said, we can put a lot of our energy into the folks that may give up on this team because such and such ain't here, or their players ain't here, or they had a terrible preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna have to go ahead and just be like, man. But if they gonna think like that, don't even put the energy towards those folks. Just focus on the people that's ready to be here, ride or die from day one.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like I said, those folks, they'll realize sooner or later that you can't count your chicken. You can't count your eggs up in this motherfucker. I don't know how that phrase go right. You can't
chicken eggs. I don't know how to. I don't know how
you can't count your eggs before the chicken or something like that. Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
But then the end, we go in like, what was the first? The egg or the chicken? You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I don't know how to.
Exactly. So, like I said, if we see them online and they talking all that junk like that, like I said, let them keep doing it, because at the end of the day, you have to think about it like this: they're putting their energy into putting negative energy on a team that supposedly that they don't watch, but they watch every week. So, like I said, just wash your hands of it. Hey, man, we here, man. Falcon season is upon us. We got a new era. We got new coaches. We got a new scheme. We looking for a new mentality here. If you're down for it, you're down for it. If you ain't down for it, don't put your energy towards this team. If you already counted them to be 0-17 this season because Trey Lance is doing good in San Fran and Justin Fields is in Chicago. Do you know what they say about great dynasties? Dynasties are destined to come apart and come together again.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they all start.
Absolutely. What they got the questions at?
We need some questions, man. I don't need to get into my presidential speeches over here and stuff like that, man.
We need questions.
I like Bubba Goat's comment saying Belichick wasn't all that till he got to England. You're telling the truth with that one.
Failure. That's
Belichick was
yeah. Dan Reeves was about to get. He got ran out of Denver.
Yeah,
complete utter garbage. Complete utter garbage. It's just all about falling to the right situation at the right time, man.
It's a good statement right here by Ellis.
We had offense that included Tony Gonzalez, Julio Jones, Ryan White, Michael Turner, and we couldn't get it done clear. The coaching has been the problem for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm. Expand on that, dude.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's the coaching. Like we've been talking about it, and I hope that Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, I mean, they come from organizations that believe in the trenches. Like if you look at the Tennessee Titans, they believe in running the football, being tough up front. If you look at Terry Fontenot, as much as we dislike the Saints, they're always solid up front. That defensive line for the Saints, they stopped the run. I believe last year they were like first in stopping the run. That's what you have to do in the NFL and in football in general. Like in my last video I did on my channel, I talked about it. I don't care what level of football you're on, pee-wee, high school football, college football. If you don't win in the trenches, you're not winning nothing. period. Like you're not winning a championship without being tough in the trenches. Like all of the teams that won Super Bowls, like Mike was talking about having a defense that complements your offense. If you look at, like, if you want to build a team like how we had our team built in 2016 and kind of how it's built now, where it's offensive heavy, you're going to have a defensive line that can bring pressure. Like if you look at the Colts, they were high powered with Peyton Manning, but they had Robert Mathis and they had Dwight Freeney that could end the game for you. Because when you're scoring a lot of points, that forces the other team to throw the ball. And when you do that, what happens? You can unleash those pass rushers. So you have a huge 21, 30-point lead. And that's pretty much what we did in 2016. If you go look at 2016, that team was built the exact same way.
Woo.
Go ahead, K-Styles.
Boy, Jude, praise it, boy. Hallelujah, Jesus.
But you forgot one X factor that put the Colts over the top. It wasn't Freeney. It wasn't Mathis. It was Bob Sanders.
Him as well. He's a playmaker. Take the ball away. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You gotta have somebody that's gonna end the game. But what I'm saying is, in a lot of those games, Bob Sanders won Defensive Player of the Year, but you had Mathis that could get a strip sack fumble and end the game. You had the Dwight Freeney. If you look at even the Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, when they had on that defense, you had DeMarcus Ware, you had Von Miller on the other side. So you had those two bookend outside linebackers that once you got that lead, because they had Wes Welker, they had Demaryius Thomas, they had Julius Thomas, they had a nasty offense. You had Noshawn Moreno, you had Willis McGahee. So once you built that lead, you can sit like they did a number on Tom Brady in that AFC Championship game. They had, even in the middle, they had Malik Jackson. So you had a pass rush that could get after it. And that's what you need if you're going to play with a lead. So we had a formula in 2016 of get a lead, and then you had Vic Beasley screaming off the edge. You had older Dwight Freeney screaming off the edge, but you had a number of guys. Because that year you had Brooks Reed coming off the bench. We've talked about it numerous times. You had Adrian Claiborne on that team. So you had a mixture of guys you can bring in and bring pass rush. And that's exactly what Mike was saying. What he said earlier was brilliant. You have to complement each other. So I want to see what Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot, what they're going to do to have the offense and the defense complement each other. Because you don't have to have a lockdown defense. I don't know how many times we've said that here on AFN. You don't have to be top 10. You don't have to have a number one defense. You just have to have a defense that complements your offense. When your offense is not winning the game for you, you need that, that one stop. We always say, what I say every time, K-Styles, you got those 3 or 4 plays in a game that decide the game. That's the turning point in the game. And that's that interception, that Bob Sanders interception, forced fumble, a strip sack fumble, or a sack to knock them out of field goal rate. Like, you need somebody to step up, and that's what we haven't had. So, I mean, I'm going to give them time, because I know I've been the one saying we're going to make the playoffs this year. But I'm kind of pumping my brakes. I do believe we'll make the playoffs, but I want to give these guys time because we didn't have money to go out there, and they really need some time to build this team the way they want it to look. Right. Because a lot of these players are Dan Quinn's or Thomas Dimitrov's players. They didn't draft John Kaminsky and all of these guys that they got to go with this year. But I'm still going to hold them to a high standard, and that's why I'm saying the playoffs, even if they don't make it, I want to see improvement. That's really what I want to see this year. Not necessarily playoffs, but I want to see improvement, and I want to see complimentary football. Are they doing the smart things that can win you games? Because a lot of games last year came down to the last possession where we could have won 7-8 games. We lost at the buzzer. We couldn't recover an onside kick. Like, these are like fundamentals of football that cause us to lose those games.
This comment right here says it all.
Do I have to say it, Mike? Do I have to say it?
Go ahead and say it. Go and say it for the people who do to it, Taylor.
Okay. We got Bubba Gump here. He said, stop giving up 3rd and longs because of PI. So for the new people that might not know what this means, here at AFN, your boy K-Styles has a term for this type of defense right here. We call it the Suki Hana, Amber Rose, slut walk defense. No wonder, because they gave up the 5th most passing yards in NFL history. So
And
they
that's
was
still history.
they was getting ran through like Brittany Reiner. I'll just say that.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey, free PJ. If we go speak on
Man, I'm spilling your mic. You don't need to talk no more.
Man, bullshit. Bruh. Think about this. Think about this. The Detroit, no, we ain't even gonna go to the Detroit game. Let's look at the Green Bay Packer game. Let's go back at that game.
No, I'm good.
No. I gotta do this right.
I'm good on that one.
Go back to the Green Bay Packer game. Look at the last 2 touchdowns that Green Bay scored. Pay attention to the defense.
Man,
they was on all fours on the field.
They were crawling on their knees. They were falling and slipping. It ain't raining. They just, oh my God.
Is that
that right there is where I wanted to kill. I literally wanted to kill Dan Quinn. I really wanted to kill him right there. Like, look, the whole defense slipping, falling. Like, are you gonna do something different? And he stayed in that cover 3. He just stayed. I was like, bro, what are you doing? He stayed in the cover 3. He didn't blitz. He didn't do anything differently. I'm just like, oh my God, this dude here.
Bruh, that pass defense was so bad. I swear you was only gonna see the Falcons on Pornhub. That's how bad that defense played.
You know what's crazy? As soon as he got fired, what did we start doing? We started sending blitzes and stuff, and we was getting sacked. And everybody was like, "Why wasn't we doing this in the first couple of weeks? We would have been winning."
Exactly. But then guess what happened after he won them couple games?
He went right back to it.
Exactly.
He reverted back. That's why I was like, clean house. Right then and there, I was like, clean house. We can't have it. We can't have it, man.
They were trying to force their philosophy on the team. You can't force your philosophy. You always got to and see, that's why I love what Dean Pease and Arthur is saying right now. Like, if you didn't see, I didn't see the entire video, but Arthur Blank pretty much said he has a clear vision offensively and defensively of what he wants to do. That's all I need to know. That's all we need. Have a clear vision, because I don't know what the hell Tommy Dimitrov and Dan Quinn were trying to do. Because they were just running through defensive linemen. They would get a big guy and then they would get a small guy. It's like, bro, what is the plan on defense?
Fast and physical. We were fast and physical. We were the most fast and physical defense in the league.
Fast and soft.
Fast and physical. I'm like, well, where the fuck was the fast and physical at?
No, where was the physical? We could have been. We had some speed. Where there was no physicality on that. Niggas was getting thrown across the field. It was like, bro, what are you doing? What are you like? The hardest hitting person on our team. Thank God he drafted. I will say he drafted Foye, so I will give him. I'll give him that. But the hardest hitter was Dion. And we was really worried that Dion got hurt. We was like, ain't nobody finna hit nobody now. Might as well just give up on the defense. Like,
but fast and soft is good. What I was gonna say, man, you might well call that defense bend over. That's what that defense is called, bend over.
What is wrong with you today, bro?
Dude. The Detroit game, they gave up a touchdown in 4 throws in 50 seconds to a Detroit team with no timeout, starting at their own 25-yard line.
You know, we was in that whole drive, cover 3. That was that whole drive. There was nothing but cover 3. Like, you could at least play man or something, like, or play at least have your linebackers play a better zone than they was doing. Like, that was just, there was no just anything. We just gave up that game so bad. It was like, and every Detroit fan was like, "Oh, we finna lose," and then they get on Twitter hype because they done beat us in 50 seconds. Like, how do you?
I'm like, bruh. I'm like, bruh, are you serious?
He was
Why? And then everybody had the nerve to blame Ty Girls. Like, bruh, do you know how bad your defense is for your quarterback to tell your offense don't score? Do you know how bad your defense got to be
yeah.
for
When you hear
that?
Matt Ryan say "Don't fall on the ground," that's when you know it's something crazy. That's when you know you bad. When Matt Ryan is, you know that had to come from Cutter. You know Cutter probably told him, "Hey, tell Gurley not to score," and that's crazy. Like that, I feel like nobody on that staff last year had faith in the defense. Let's be honest.
Bro, the Detroit, and Oscar basically said it best. The Detroit players was cheering for Gurley to score the touchdown.
They gave him the lane.
They
Literally.
gave him the lane. Bro, they was pleading for the referee to give him the touchdown. Do you know how bad of a culture that is? That when
I
you
don't
have
even blame. I don't even blame. I don't even blame Dirk Cutter for that. Like I don't even blame him for that. Like I said, that's more of an indictment on your head coach, who's the defensive coordinator. Because
I'm gonna call the player.
If you put in your offensive coordinator in position to make stupid shit like that, like to do stupid crap, and excuse me, I was doing good before I even thought of. I was doing good on cursing, but this damn. I just want to erase. If I could just erase one person out of our franchise as a head coach, I gotta erase Dan Quinn because like
I'm not even. It used to be Mike Smith for me, but I don't even think that Mike Smith was that bad.
Mike Smith wasn't that bad. He wasn't that bad.
He's the epitome of fucking stupid. I'm just like, it's just, bro. He's just like, you see it working and you just go away from it. Just I don't get that. From a coaching standpoint, I don't get it. You are getting ragdoll, ran through Suki Hunter, Amaru Slutwalk defense, and you still you still try to go back to it. Just like I don't get that. So breathe, Mike. Breathe.
Dude. Hold on. I'm getting another flashback here. Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's just so many embarrassing moments, man.
The Saints scored a touchdown, and the Falcons starting nose tackle was cheering for the Saints after they scored the touchdown, and the coaches didn't say shit. Think about that. Think about that culture.
He's having fun with his teammates, and their teammates just got scored. His old teammates, and
he was cheering with the Saints after they scored a touchdown in the middle of the game, and the coach didn't say shit. He cheered them on too, like, "Hey, good job, you tried, man, you tried." Like, bruh. I'm like, I know I ain't the only one that just see what the hell happened here. This is what we're talking about as far as trying to establish a culture. Like I said, a quarterback is not changing a culture of a football team.
Whoa. I gotta stop. I gotta prove it. I gotta stop you there. It's not true whatsoever. Not true at all.
It's not the reason.
I'm not gonna disrespect him because his defense is the reason why we made it to the playoffs to be. Well, I won't say make it to the playoffs, but they were the reason why we even made it to the Super Bowl because they were getting turnovers. We wasn't getting turnovers early during the season. We weren't getting those turnovers. So I'm not gonna say that Dan Quinn did not. I'm not saying he was terrible defensive coordinator, but I think with his I don't think he's a terrible defensive coordinator. I think he's like Kyle Shanahan. His ego is just, it keeps him from doing the right thing. All they focus on is their philosophy, their way, and you got to be able, like that. Even in basketball, baseball, you got to be willing to adjust. And if you're not willing to adjust, you're gonna lose more because that's what the other teams are doing. They're adjusting to what you're doing. And Dan Quinn refused to adjust. He saw the mistakes. He knew what was wrong with the defense, but he absolutely refused to even bring in the right players that would change the culture, and he refused to hold his coaching staff accountable because he threw all the guys who was like going at his philosophy. He got rid of Brian Cox. Brian Cox was with that soft shit. He wasn't with that crap. He wasn't with that. So I don't think I still don't think he's a bad defensive coordinator, but he's a horrible adjuster. That dude don't know how to adjust for crap.
Do you think he gets another job somewhere? I don't think he does.
A head coach job?
No. What you got, Jude?
What's that? Hey.
We got a $5. Hold on, y'all. Before I say something here, Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. 281-330-8004. You need a drink? Let me know when Mike Jones will have it at your door. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. There's that phone with a 7-8. Hold it down south. Represent
we gotta say we missed Ellis $4.99 super chat too. I popped it up there. We forgot to he didn't say anything though. He just gave $4.99, but I wanted to acknowledge him.
Oh yeah, appreciate it, man. I'm just talking about this PTSD with this Pornhub defense we had last year. It's kind of fucking with me right now.
That Tiana Trump defense. We'll call it that. It's that Tiana.
I said the Brittany Reiner defense. That's what we're gonna call it. But Mike Jones said, I got tired of seeing Mike Smith call the same losing play on 4th and 1, the most winningest coach in Falcons history.
What used to tick me off about Mike Smith is just run a quarterback sneak on 4th and 1. If you can't block up front, look, Tom Brady is the slowest quarterback I've ever seen. But that man know how to quarterback sneak. If he need 4th and 1, 4th and inches, how many times you seen him rush to the line and he just go forward? Center, go forward. I'm just gonna go right behind.
Just go behind his butt.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go right up behind your butt. Whatever I need to do. Like,
so you say he just go ahead, just do the quarterback dive, just like yo,
quarterback dive, dog. Every time.
It's not from a center standpoint. All you got to do is don't even get it. If I snap the ball, don't even stand up. Just stay right on my back. Don't even stand up. Just come with me.
Just fall forward.
Just come with me. Just fall with him because I'm gonna fall over. If I ain't got a nose guard, I'm gonna fall forward. So you just fall on top of me. You gonna get it. Like. It's weird because these 4th and 1 plays now they be trying to design like the bootleg packs action and all of this. I'm just like, bro, QB sneaks have been undefeated for so many years. Why don't reinvent the wheel? I said this earlier in the group chat when I forgot we were talking about Mike, but I said don't reinvent the wheel. If it's not I think Don said don't. If it's not broke, don't fix it. It's you if you have a play that works and you know it works 9 times out of 10. Don't go away from it. It makes no sense. It really, it just doesn't make sense.
Terrence Mathis, that's where he dropped the jewel on us in his interview. And he was like, all year we had been using the same game plan to even get to that point, and then we decided to change that game plan in the Super Bowl. And like that's when that was our only, that was our biggest loss.
Every Atlanta team does
that game plan in. So it's like. That's what like I said, when you start thinking too much in football, that's when you lose games. Stop thinking too much. All right. Look, you see a weakness, attack the weakness until they make an adjustment. And it's really just that simple.
I want y'all to hit this comment right here. I want to know how y'all feel about this comment. Young Castle said Dan Quinn ruined Vic Beasley's career.
No,
that's not true. Go ahead, G.
Y'all want to know what ruins Vic Beasley's career? I did a whole video on it. What ruined Vic Beasley's career is 2016 having 15 and a half sacks because he gave everybody unreasonable expectation. Like if you go look at any of the mere pass rushers we consider in the game, you go look at Khalil Mack. I went and looked at his stats. We automatically assume because these guys are brand names that they get 10 plus sacks a year, but it's not true. And that's the reason why I really feel like Vic Beasley should still be on this team. We should have actually re-signed Vic Beasley. If you go look at Vic Beasley's numbers when he left Atlanta, I think he had 8 sacks the last year when we decided not to bring him back. If you go look at Khalil Mack last year, I think he only had like 9 sacks. So in our minds, we get in our minds when we see a player get, have that breakout season to have 20 sacks or 15, 16 sacks. You automatically just think in your head, oh, that guy gets 10 sacks every year. I promise you, you go look up. I went and looked up Cam Jordan for the Saints. Everybody assumed he's a premier pass rusher. He's always in the Pro Bowl. Go look at how many sacks he had last season. He didn't even lead his team in sacks last year. I believe Trey Hendrickson on their team had the most sacks. So it just, like, before you judge a player, and that's why I say 2016 has ruined Vic Beasley, because once he hit that 15.5 sack and he led the league in sacks, we automatically raised the bar that every year we wanted him to have over 10 sacks or 15 sacks. And that's not realistic. If you go look at any of the great pass rushers in the league right now, they don't always get 10 sacks, especially in today's game where everything is the quick game, 3-step drop. A lot of these guys' numbers are dropping when it comes to sack numbers. Go look it up. I went and just did some research, and I was like, well, let me see what players consistently get in double-digit sacks every year. Other than Aaron Donald, it's not really a lot of players that's consistently getting 10 sacks. You go look at Jadeveon Clowney. He's never had 10 sacks in the season. Never. And this dude was a first-round pick. I think he was the number 1 pick, if I'm not mistaken, when he came.
I think number 1 or number 2. I forget.
Yeah, number 1 and number 2. So that just goes to show you. This man's never had. So we call Vic Beasley like this guy's a bust. If you go look at his numbers, to be completely honest with you, our expectations was just raised astronomically high because he led the league and he had that 15.5 sack season. If he never would have had that one season of leading the league, we wouldn't have never raised our expectations to believe that he should be getting 15 sacks a season. Because if you look at, like I said, any of the premier pass rushers, that's an unreasonable expectation to expect a guy to get 15 sacks a season or even 10 sacks a season. It rarely happens. And I advise everybody in the chat to go take a look at that.
And let me say, let me say this. Like, stop. Like, we got to stop with this bullshit. Like, I'm sorry. I really got to. I got to piggyback off this because comments like this is what we're talking about. This is exactly what we're talking about. Just because a guy got 16 sacks, 15 sacks in a season, you want to say that getting 8 sacks, getting 7 sacks, getting 6 sacks. We don't even got Gritty Jarrett is the second best defensive tackle in the league, and he had 4.5 sacks. He was tied with Debo. What are we talking about?
Right.
These unrealistic expectations for people. Just because Aaron Donald is one of the greatest defensive linemen, we think just because this guy was drafted number 2, this guy drafted number 8, he's supposed to be Aaron Donald. Nobody's Aaron Donald. Nobody is him. He is his own.
That's a freaking nature. That is a freaking
nature. You know what I'm saying? So like we can't like look at right now. This dude got $100 million contract. If you want to say that he is if you want to say that Vic Beasley is an overachiever, we got 2 people. We got 2 players in the league right now who are making $100 million. That's the dude in Dallas and that's Khalil Mack. And both of those guys are not putting up 10 sacks a year. So stop with these crazy, unrealistic expectations on players. It's craziness.
So, Mike, to back up what you're saying, 2019, I just pulled it up. Khalil Mack had 8.5 sacks in 2018 or 2019. 2020, he had 9 sacks. The last 2 seasons, he didn't have over 10 sacks.
What's the energy for him?
My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I was gonna say, we're going back to that comment where he said as far as Beasley and Dan Quinn. I'm not gonna say necessary. I'm gonna say it like this. You have to have, like what you said about the 15.5 sack kind of being like that peak, that expectation. We also have to remember Vic Beasley was not an every down pass rusher. That's where he excelled at. Kind of like, because remember Aldon Smith was going to be one of those premier pass rushers in the NFL because he was averaging 15, 17 a season. Forgetting that all this.
Even look at Dwight Freeney. He had Robert Mathis beside him. Pass rushing is a team effort. All right. One guy, you may have one guy that's just a freak of nature. This like you can't do anything with him. You know what I'm saying? Like a Von Miller. But even that, like even with Von Miller, he still had DeMarcus Ware to go with him. So like we gotta stop. We gotta say, look, we just have to stop. All right. Even go back to that Falcons 98 team. Chuck Smith was the best defensive lineman, but he had Travis Hall. If people don't know who Travis Hall, that dude was a monster. Shane Jonette came from Denver. He was a great defensive tackle. He could get after the pass rusher. Lester Archambault, another like complete defensive lineman. So that team, like that front four that the Falcons had, it was a number of guys. All right, so these guys just didn't do it all by themselves. Okay, you gotta have a team around him, and that's why I totally disagree with the fact that Dan Quinn ruined him. I think what really ruined him was Thomas Dimitroff's lack of respect for the defensive line. That's what ruined the Falcons. The lack of respect of the defensive line. You can't just draft one guy and just say, all right, Vic Beasley is going to be successful. You got to put the pieces around him so he can be successful at what he does well. Vic Beasley is not a run defender. That's why he got 15, because he was able to do one thing, come in and rush the passer. That's it. Because we had a Freeney, because we had Adrian Claiborne, we was a rotation around that guy. Wow. So he shined.
There we are. I don't know if the other guy y'all was talking about earlier. That's why I was trying to ask who was you talking about. Y'all was talking about Jadeveon Clowney, right?
Clowney. Oh God, I already know his numbers. Whew.
Jadeveon Clowney has 5.5 less sacks than Vic Beasley right now for a career.
And everybody want him.
I'm looking at Jadeveon Clowney right now. As far as like I said, we're looking at total sack numbers. Jadeveon Clowney only had 2 seasons of over 7 sacks.
That's alarming. I could say that.
But Vic Beasley was supposed to have 10, 15 every season.
But like I said, the thing is, we have to look at it this way too. And Mike and you just said it. Pass rushers that's why they call it a unit. Mm-hmm. Everybody got to play the role. We look at John Abraham, Rod Coleman, Grady Jackson. Like I said, you could throw Ossie in there. Like I said, you had the unit. Babineau, that's another one. You had the unit. Like I said, even I'm surprised I'm even saying this name. Chad Lavallee. Oh, goddamn it. He sucked majority of the time, but like I said, he did one thing well, and he knew how to hold up the point of attack. Mm-hmm. But this is what we're talking about with pass rushers. Your unit has to be on point. If your unit is not on point, you ain't getting sacks.
How many times have we heard when we go back to that Chicago Bears defense with Brian Urlacher? Why did everybody always say, yeah, Brian Urlacher was good, but that dang on Tommy Harris was
Tommy Harris, Brian Robinson, Awade Ogunleye, Alex Hayes, Mike Brown, Peanut Tillman, Jerry Azuma.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, they had a unit, bro.
Yeah.
They offense just sucked.
I think what I think about, like, I'm a trenches guy. When you have a D line, right, and you say you would have kept Vic and Grady, and what you had to do for Grady, and this is why I say about Dante Fowler. Yeah, that's great. Only thing I say about Dante Fowler is that you give Dante Fowler a dominant D tackle, right? Somebody that demands a double team, and you give him an island. Dante Fowler was a dangerous man on an island, 1-on-1, because he's quicker. He can move his hands. He knows what to do on an island. Last year, we had nobody that gave us any bit of a threat on the inside to give him an open 1-on-1 lane. And that you like if you go on a pass rush, we call it a C. If you can call it a horseshoe, a C, whatever you want to call it. As an O line, when you branch into that line, nothing comes in there. It's 5 of you, and maybe a running back comes and takes that tackle side. Dante Fowler's gonna have at least 3 people on him because what was he supposed to be your main pass rusher? So that guard, that tackle, and that running back was gonna watch him because we knew the D tackle 1-on-1 that wasn't a problem. Or you was gonna have your center and Grady Jarrett, and your center and the other guard Grady Jarrett. So you have it's creativity. We didn't blitz. We didn't have no way for that C to be broke. And so now with Dean Pease, and everybody's talking about how the defense doesn't look better. Dean Pease has shown you like 30 blitzes. Let's be honest. He done showed you multiple fronts with multiple blitzes. And that's scary. And if you're an O-line and you're an O-line coach, you can't watch as much film to try to battle what he's going to do in that front seven. And even it's not even the front seven because he's blitzing corners and he's blitzing safety. So it's you have the amount of creativity we're going to have is something we haven't seen, I'll say, in a long time, especially in that front seven. You got to have a better D tackle. You got to have another guy like somebody was saying Ogundeji. Ogundeji and Dante Fowler on the edge is going to be crazy. You get Grady Jarrett and Marlon Davidson on the inside. So we got some stuff. We got some stuff where I think we're going to be our front four, and we already know our linebacking core is one of the best. So our front four, it should be good. Let's be honest, they should be good. We just got to translate it on the field, really and truly.
We getting a whole lot of knowledge here today, man. God damn,
boy. Hey, man. That's what we do, man.
You know what the crazy thing is? John Edwards kind of brought it up too. He was talking about memories of the grit splits. Remember that docuseries I was telling y'all about I was watching? They actually talked about that grit splits too.
Mm-hmm.
Our offense was so terrible that year.
Yeah.
They said the defense went on a stretch. That Grizzlies went on a stretch where they gave up 24 points in 6 games. The offense averaged 9 points a game. How the hell that happened?
Just wait. I just want people to wait. I love how people are trying to rush. And I had to block. I blocked somebody today, and I unfollowed and muted their tweets today because you're so negative on the team that you let that blind you. Like he posted something today talking about I don't see a reason why the Falcons would be better this year. How you go into a season doubting your team to that extreme? Like if you just don't have faith, don't be a fan. That's just how I see it.
Don't even come here with that nonsense. Like if that's the attitude that you have, like you more than welcome to check out Pound for Pound, and all them other, like we got a number of people. Like what we are here is that we try our best to not be as negative as and like I said, I understand frustrations. Because it's football. Everybody want to win. Let's just be it. Nobody likes to lose. And I understand that, your feeling. But that's not what we do here, man. We try to at least, because, for one, we already know the national media, they trying to dog us every chance that they get. Every chance that they get, they trying to dog us. So, if we, as a fan base, got to get better. We got to set the example. We got to tell them, we got to show them how to treat us. Like if we negative and all constantly dogging our team, ESPN ain't gonna do the exact same thing. We got to make them respect us as a fan base. They don't respect us as a fan base because guess what? We saying stuff like that. Man, I don't even see why we even trying, man. Like, well, what kind of attitude is that to begin with?
Look who just became the new member.
Mike Jones.
Who? Mike Jones. I need a drink. Let me know if Mike Jones have it at your door.
There you go.
I ain't gonna do the whole verse. I ain't gonna do the whole verse this time. I ain't gonna do the whole verse.
Hey man, let's get to these final damn, what the hell? I just got a brain for it. The final word. You'll know what I'm talking about.
The closeout.
Closeout. The last tape. We've been at this one here 3 hours. Good God. Dang. I didn't realize it was this late. My bad. I forget. I apologize. We too
hey shit, we still got 200 people in here. Shit, we still
we got good gracious. But go ahead, Tyrone, since you the guest, man. Go ahead and get your final takes, man.
Tyrone.
Hold up, y'all. I had walked out the room. What you say, Mike?
No, I say go ahead. This we about to end the show by say give your last takes and stuff.
Well, like anything Falcons related, if you're not positive about it, you're getting blocked on my Twitter at this point. I'm not going into this season with any negativity on my timeline. So anything, nothing else. Saturday, college football starts. If you know me, or if you connect, if you are on Thela, you know I started my college football show last Saturday. Basically this Saturday will be the first. I did week 0, but this will be the real official show. So basically, if you want to come on, hit me up on Twitter at CallOnTyroneATL. If you want to talk about your favorite team, hit me up. I might do a live watching show if you want to. Yes, AJ, Georgia beat Clemson. I think they beat them by 10. That's my prediction. I think we win by 10. But that's just I'm biased. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just biased. But that's all I think. That's all I got for now. Just watch out if you're on Feedly, subscribe to Feedly. But just watch out because I got some more stuff coming out and baseball. So we good.
Juju on that beat. What you got?
Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat.
Well, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I think we got up to almost 300. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Holla.
Holla.
He's trying to make somebody catch the Holy Ghost.
Do the Holy Ghost dance, boy.
Boy, I'm about to break out the screaming Norman Smiley like Appreciate you, man.
Definitely.
John Edwards, you ain't got no question for that, man. You just dropped 50 on us like that. No question or nothing.
He said good stuff tonight. He did say good stuff tonight after he didn't put it with the donation.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
We appreciate that, John, man.
We appreciate you, man. But like I said, man, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. As always, look, the season is upon us. I'm gonna be doing something with a Eagles YouTuber, and I'll let you guys know. I'm gonna try to get him on the show with us so we can break down this first game against the Eagles. He's a well-known YouTuber here on YouTube. Y'all check him out. His name's Lord Brunson, but he's known Eagles YouTuber, and I'm gonna try to have him on the show. But I'm just getting ready for the season, man. I'm super excited. Arthur Smith and Dean Pease did a good job in the preseason of basically keeping everything on the wrap. You know, we look very vanilla, so we don't know what this team is going to look like. So I'm gonna hold off on my judgment until I actually see them go out. The starters go out here and play a game. Right now, I really don't know what to expect. Even though we are content creators, we don't know. Look, I wasn't at training camp. I don't know. I'm sure Arthur Smith has some great wrinkles that we ain't seen yet. We've seen a little bit of something with that Kyle Pitts play where he went for 27 yards on that little flat route. So that just goes to show you he has some wrinkles, and this team is I think we're going to be a lot better than people realize. I think right now they're just keeping everything under wraps. Even Dean Pease, we've seen a little bit of the blitz packages he has in his back pocket. But I think he got a lot more wrinkles under that on that play sheet that we ain't seen yet. So I'm really excited to see our starters. And going into week 1, I do expect the Falcons to beat the Eagles. But I'm really excited about this season and just excited about a fresh start. These are new coaches, a whole new regime. We're going to see if they can change the mentality of us being fast and soft, as I said earlier. We're going to see if we can bring that toughness back to the Atlanta Falcons. But with that being said, we just want to, again, like I said, just want to thank you guys. We do it for you guys, the fans, and we try to give you guys the stats, the facts, and the truth. We don't try to sugarcoat nothing. We just try to give you guys, what the media is not going to tell you. We know the media is toxic, and they're going to only tell you what they want you to hear, but we're going to give you the stats and the facts and the truth. And with that being said, I'm going to kick it over to Mad Mike. But I do appreciate you guys as always. And I also wanted to mention really quick, your boy's on the road to 2,000. You guys help your boy get to 2,000 subscribers. AFN is on the road to 2,000. And Mike is on the road to 6K. I don't know if he hit it yet, but he was only a few away from 6K.
I'm about 10 away now.
Look, man, we got 200 in here. Let's get Mike to 6K tonight. By tonight.
Yeah, how many? Goddamn, I'm about to say, how many of the 200 that already subscribed to him?
Yeah, I'm gonna say everybody subscribed to him already.
Look, the ones that haven't went over to Mad Mike Sports, y'all go get my man a 6K.
Nine more away.
We're gonna have a special song for the 6. We're gonna have a special song for the 6 if we get to the 6. We gonna sing a Drake song if he gets to 6.
He said started from the bottom, now we're here.
Exactly.
Hey man, I don't think people realize how appreciative I am. When I say this, bro, I started. It was a whole year, bro. I'm not a person that gives up anyway. I'm a hard-headed, stubborn son of a gun. All right, I don't believe in giving up, and when it comes time, it really takes extreme measures for me to give up. So when I tell y'all, and this is for anyone who feels as though that their channel isn't going anywhere, don't stop. Even if you think nobody is listening, they're watching. But it takes time to not only, gain those fans and gain that trust for those people, but it takes time to gain those skills. Because, bruh, everybody who's ever made a video, their first video was absolute trash. And I'm telling you right now, bro, my first video,
my whole first 2 months was trash. So I know.
Boy, it's absolute garbage. So, but I tell y'all, I'm appreciative for everybody who's, is a part and continues to, support with AFN, Juke Talk Sports, K-Style, Feli Sports Podcast, man. It was a whole year, bro. I had 30, like I said, I still remember the number. It was 36 subscribers for a whole year, making video after video, bro. I got tired of seeing 36. I wanted to create different profiles so I can get off that damn 36 number. It was a struggle, okay? It was a struggle for me to get out that number. So when I tell y'all I appreciate it, man, to see myself at, almost 6K from the beginning, I'm appreciative, man. So that's all I got, man. This is all about you guys. This is why we do the Ask Matt Mike segment. You ask you, ask K Styles, and even go to Tyrone, Feli Sports Podcast. Ask those guys questions. You know what I'm saying? Engage. Do not be afraid to engage, because it actually gives us, more ideas to even do videos or whatnot. So your input is valuable. All right. So, K-Style, what you got on that, man?
We always say, man, we appreciate everybody that comes in and, come in here and interact and, like I said, leave your comments, whether you disagree or agree, whatever. Just like I'm gonna piggyback on what Mike said about me. Like I said, I'm 82 away from 500. Hell, I'm surprised I even hit the number I hit right now, to be honest with you. Like I said, and like you said, you was at 36 for a whole year. Hell, it was to a point where I didn't think I was going to be doing this thing this long. I mean, Let's keep it real. I ain't the most articulate guy on the goddamn show. Let's just keep it real on that one. But at the end of the day, like Mike said, just stick with it, man. Anything can happen. What Kevin Garnett? Hey, Mike, what did Kevin Garnett say after they won the title? Mike, exactly. So yeah, like I said, I always say, I'm appreciative of everybody that subscribe. I appreciate everybody that watch. Like I said, y'all can watch anybody else, but like I said, y'all deal with my goof ass at times. But at the same time, this is how I learn. I learn with y'all. Y'all learn with us. This is what AFN is all about. That's why we say we are the nation. Everybody is one over here. And damn it, I'm still on the road to 1,000. So I'm gonna need about 582 of y'all to get me to 1,000. But at the end of the day, I appreciate it. I appreciate you, even if I only had 5. That's just keeping it real right there. So we're just gonna keep on going. The season is upon us. AFN, we're trying to get to that 2K. Like I said, get Jew to that 2K, get Mike to that 6K. Like I said, get me to that 500. Hey, this is what it's all about, man. It's all one family. It's all one love. And we give you one thing that most other folks won't give you. That's facts. That's comedy. It's truth. Hey, we just and like I said, and we're going to give you our opinions, whether you like it or not. That's why we always say we are not for everybody.
I know I ain't.
I know damn well I ain't for everybody. I always tell, look, I always make this joke. with everybody. I always say, like, Mike and Jew will give your ass 20 minutes worth of material in one video.
Oh man.
K Styles is gonna give you 2 minutes tops.
I'm gonna give you a sermon.
Yeah,
I'll change my name.
Let's wrap it up.
You, aka Calm Before the Storm, aka the Minister. I'm gonna give you a sermon.
Yeah. He the one. He 2 point. He the one. Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up right here. He keep talking. He be like, "Oh, come on, Pastor. Come on,
Pastor. Man. I'm trying to catch the football game, bro. Pastor, come on."
In closing, this is my third close, but in closing,
yeah, exactly.
We be at 12. It be 12:15. You be like, "All right, Pastor, I gotta get out of here. I'm trying to go. Gotta go.
I can't do game. Hey. I'm like, but like I said, and y'all see how we do right here. We crack jokes on each other. We laugh and all that stuff. Like I said, we got a lot of people out here that don't like us. We've accepted that because we're different from everybody else. Like I said, we're not trying to be ESPN. We're AFN.
Yeah. We
got Feli Sports Podcast over there. They doing big things over there too. This is what we
108. Now you said we 100. We're 100. I think away from 2.5. So
good job.
If you over here, yeah, you go over there and subscribe. 100 away, hand. We hit 2.4 last week. So if you get us to 2.5, 2.6, you know,
yeah,
that's what we trying to get to.
Right. So. Yeah, like Proven said, who don't like y'all, you'll be. I'ma just say it like this: you will be surprised. You will be surprised. But we're not gonna get into that. The only thing is we focused on is y'all that will continue to support us every time we drop a video. That's why we always say hit the notification bell. You don't know when we gonna come on, but when you do, we're gonna make sure you entertained and informed at the same damn time. I don't know why I wasn't on the debate team because I sound like I sound very, very presidential right now. I'm like, shit, I got the presidential speeches on deck, boy. But like I said, y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Mad Mike Sports, Feline Sports Podcast, Jew Talk Sports. K Styles, no, 6-man K Styles with 2 Z's.
2
Yeah. But like we say, here at AFN, we ain't here to play. We here to stay. You ain't got to go home.
But you gotta get the hell up out of here.
Oh my goodness. What